Brown. Not your typical. From Memorial Coliseum, it's IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne with Randy Schiffman. I'm Brad Brown. Not your typical game here tonight because there's a full house and a big name in town, Randy. We've been looking forward to Notre Dame coming to Fort Wayne all season.
Half and half crowd here, half for IPFW, half for the Fighting Irish. They are filled to the rafters right now. Starting point guard and perhaps best player, Chris Quinn, hurt an ankle in practice this morning. So the football team's still being quarterbacked by Quinn. The basketball team won't be tonight.
The Irish struggled early, got a big win a couple weeks ago. The way for them inside, quite a matchup problem tonight with Torrin Francis.
Torrin Francis, if he doesn't score 15 rebounds, I think he'll be disappointed. And when he goes to the bench, Rick Cornett comes in, and he's just strong as Francis. That's a nightmare matchup for the Dons.
The outside game for the Irish, couple of great shooters in Colin Falls and Luke Zeller.
Yeah, both these guys have shot more three-pointers this year than two-pointers. Falls hit 6 three-pointers against Alabama. He was a key to their win. And if he gets off early, that's a big deal. He's shooting 40% from three-point land, but he's only shooting 20% from twos, which is really strange. And Zeller, the Mr. Basketball, shooting more threes than two. And he's a tall guy, so he also is a matchup problem.
Take a look at IPFW. Have got Tyler Best the last couple of weeks, and he has quite a challenge tonight.
Yeah, he's really a good passer, but tonight he's going to have to concentrate on defense because he's going to be the one who's really going to be matched up a lot with Torrin Francis, and that's huge. And on Falls, I think we're going to see Quentin Carruthers guarding him. Carruthers a very good man-to-man defender, and again, he's going to have to get involved all the time. If that kid gets a split second, he's shooting it.
Okay, it's filling up fast here at the Coliseum. And the Dons will take a timeout. Come back with the starting lineups after this. You're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
That boat was all right. You know, if she continues to spill product at a rate of 3 per hour, unit cost, say 60 cents. Factor in breakage, downtime, lost sales. You're looking at $2,400 a month. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One great names.
Did you know IPFW has its very own pep band? The Stomp Band is looking for more members, and we want you to join. IPFW students even receive a credit for their participation. Perfection is not required, just enthusiasm and a desire to share your school spirit. Check out our website for more information. Don't just play, stomp.
It's IPFW Mastodon Basketball, live from the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum. This broadcast is a production of College 56 at IPFW in conjunction with UPN Fort Wayne.
Back here to Memorial Coliseum. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish, the opponent for the Mastodons here tonight. Brad Brown and Randy Schiffman back here with you. The crowd starting to filter in for this one out of this cold December evening. And for those of you who are not among the, give or take 8,000 or 9,000 that are going to be here at the Coliseum, we thank you for joining us here on UPN Fort Wayne. We're getting the starting lineups onto the floor here for tonight. Let's take a look at the lineups as they are set for this evening. We're going to start off with the visitors coming in from Notre Dame, 6-year head coach Mike Bray and Fighting Irish, coming off of an 81-47 win over Florida International. As we mentioned in the pregame, Chris Quinn is out of the lineup tonight. Starting in his place will be freshman guard Kyle McElharney, 6'1", 200 pounds from Staten Island, New York. Colin Falls in the backcourt with him as well. And Russell Carter, a 6'4" junior from New Jersey. And then that big front line that we talked about, Torrin Francis and Luke Zeller, both will be tough matchups for the Dons tonight.
The thing about Zeller, even though he's 6'11", he plays outside a lot, Brett. He'll shoot a lot of three-pointers, and both teams play a 3-guard, 2-forward offense.
And speaking of the IPFW lineup, first-year head coach Dane Fife, couple of guards, 3 forwards going for Coach Fife tonight. It'll be Quentin Carruthers, the 6'3" junior, and Brad Pompey, the 6'1" junior, starting at guards. And then that front line that'll take that challenge from Francis and Zeller, DeWitt Scott, 6'6" sophomore, Justin Hawkins, a 6'6" junior, and then the big man that's going to be playing in the middle quite a bit, 6'9" junior Tyler Best, 6'9" and 240, going up against Francis at 6'11" and 252. The Dons coming off of their loss last week on Thursday, 86-61 to Kent State. And Randy, I know Coach Fife and the guys, from the moment I walked in the door tonight, they're excited for this game.
Yeah, you can tell all the players, too. They are pumped. I mean, this place is packed. There are people sitting in the upper deck. Pretty much every suite is filled, so you know it's a big ball game. Look at the faces on the coaches. They're all business.
They're ready to go for this one. Of course, Notre Dame was here for the NIT
a couple of years
ago at the end of the 03-04 season. Packed the house here for that second round game after a scheduling snafu, and the invitation came to come back, and Coach Bray said absolutely.
We even have Notre Dame cheerleaders there, even though they're on break. Heidi Schindler is their captain of the cheerleader squad. She's from Fort Wayne.
Okay.
And she got them to come, and the Leprechaun is here as well, and that is the real Leprechaun because I've seen him at the football game.
The real deal. So
it's a big deal, this game.
Look around the arena tonight, as we mentioned in the pregame, you see a lot of green here, but a lot of blue as well. So some Notre Dame fans, absolutely, but some folks just coming out to see some good basketball here tonight at Memorial Coliseum.
Without question, this is the biggest home game in the history of IPFW athletics.
And the focus all week for Coach Fife has said we have an opportunity here to really put IPFW on the map. This is a statement game potentially if they can come out and get it done here tonight.
And get off to a good start for a change at home. They haven't had that.
That's going to be crucial. The opening tip goes the way of the Irish, and there's Kyle McIlharney playing in place of Chris Quinn tonight. He'll run the point. First time out, the Dons come out man-to-man on the defense, and they go right to Francis. In on the post against Best, up and can't get it. Rebound there by Carter, misses, but he'll go to the line.
Yeah, Notre Dame is very good on the offensive glass, and you saw immediately they went inside to Francis. They'll play either three or sometimes they'll have four guys outside the three-point stripe and leave Francis alone on the inside to create those, either he takes it one-on-one or he dishes out and they'll shoot a three-point.
On the season, more than a third of Notre Dame's field goal attempts have come from outside the three-point arc as they average 71 a game coming in to this one. Carter hits the first of two. 6'4" junior, Paulsboro, New Jersey.
Very good athlete.
Well-built young man, goes 2 for 2. And the Irish put their first two on the board 15 seconds into this one.
Irish will switch it up. They'll play some man. They'll play a lot of 2-3 zone. Occasionally, they'll do a 1-2-2 zone press from three-quarters, and they also have a little diamond press, but very little man-to-man full-court pressure from Notre Dame.
Great little backdoor look from Best to Hawkins, but Justin was unable to handle the pass. 3 for Best, rims out. McIlharney the rebound, and here come the Irish.
And Dons need to get some scoring early and get this crowd into it.
Zeller out there at the top. Indiana's reigning Mr. Basketball. McIlharney hasn't seen a lot of playing time this season, but he'll get his share of minutes tonight. He gets it on the move. 3-ball, that one's long. Rebound. Hawkins reels one in and a good board for Justin.
And Brad, one thing we noticed looking at the stats for the season for Notre Dame, Chris Quinn is by far their best assist man. Most of their players have more turnovers than assists, so they're really going to miss Quinn's passing tonight.
It'll be interesting to see if McIlharney can handle running that point. 3-ball missed, so 0 for 2 on that trip for the Dons.
Pompey thought that one was dead center.
Notre Dame 1-zip. We showed you the series there. They got the win up in South Bend last year as the Dons made the trip up to the Joyce Center. Go inside. Francis, little spin right to the front of the rim and scores.
Can't let him get the ball that deep, Brad. You might as well, as soon as he catches it there, you might as well mark down tune in the book.
74-45 was that score last year, right before the Thanksgiving holiday. Zeller had the nice entry pass that time at the other end. So 4-zip for Notre Dame. Dons a couple of minutes without a point here. See what they get this time down.
Last year, Francis and Rick Cornett off the bench caused all kind of problems for IPFW with their size and speed.
Best on the drive that time. Got it to the rim but could not convert. Here's Falls with it for the first time. Gets it back from Francis. Sets the screen. Baseline jumper misses, and Pompey the board.
Again, he's a better shooter from three than he is from two. He's 40% from three-point. He's now 2 for 12 on the season from two-point.
And he's a very streaky three-point shooter. When he starts to light it up, you better look out. Hawkins, baseline, can't get it. Dons missed their first 5 shots.
But they're getting good shots right now. They're not forcing things. They've all been open shots.
Another opportunity now for Notre Dame. Carruthers picks him up on the defense. Falls, nice shot fake, step back, 3-ball, no. Pompey another board. Don's trying to run.
He's ready to shoot every time he catches that ball.
Got the just that shooter's eye, and when he gets it going, that shooter's touch as well.
And I think he hit 6 in the first half against Alabama a couple of weeks ago. I was watching some of that game. He was just on fire, and from all over the place he was hitting.
Yep, and a steal. Here's Carter with it. The big man taking it in, drives in, flips up a wild shot. Good job by Pompey to get back, but Throwing it away was Carruthers. Now Zeller steps up, and he hits a long two.
Dane Fife taking an early 30-second timeout. He needs it. That was a sloppy turnover. Pretty good defense, though, when Carter put up that check. Carter was trying to get a foul instead of trying to make a basket on that one, but a very sloppy turnover on the offensive end, and then another one underneath their own basket for IPFW.
Coach Fife right now probably just trying to settle his guys down, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, again, they're coming out here tonight. There's a packed crowd, and they've played in front of a lot of big crowds on the road, but it's different when you're playing in front of a crowd like this at home. As you can see, the stands are just about full, especially the lower bowl, and there are people sitting in the upper deck.
Yeah, they are. A few seats upstairs, but you can see the crowd that is gathered here with us on this Sunday evening, week before the Christmas holiday.
Notre Dame not exactly tearing it up right now. 2 out of 7 from the field. But Don's 0 for 5 in the 2 turnovers. Notre Dame hasn't turned it over yet.
But as you said, some good looks for IPFW early on, and a little pressure in the backcourt here.
That's that 1-2-2 3-quarter press.
Dons do well to get it across center court.
Remember, the Dons have had some trouble with the press early this year.
Best against Francis, backing him in. Finds the open man out top. Scott's 3 is no good. Another board for Carter. He has 3 of those early. Here's McElharney on the attack. Underneath, had it swatted away.
That was Carruthers.
Dons get it back. Scott saved it out of bounds.
Yeah, McElharney went 1-on-3 there. Probably not a good decision by the freshman, but again, he's a freshman filling in for a senior guard, and they'll make those kind of mistakes. Good pass underneath by Hawk.
And take it, work it around out. 3 no good again by Scott.
Don's firing a lot of 3s already.
Here comes Notre Dame on the run again. Carter handling the ball a lot. Zeller setting the screen for McElharney. His 3 misses.
Brad, the Dons have missed all 7 of their shots, 4 of them from three-point line. I don't know if Dane Fife wants them taking that many 3s.
They had a good look there. Hawkins and Best were underneath, but they kicked it out for the open 3. We'll see if they try to attack the basket. There's Zeller working the defense at the top. 3 again, Carruthers. That one is short. Rebound tipped out. Too many Irish hands on the ball, and it goes out of bounds. That brings us to our first timeout. 15:41 to go first half. 6-zip Notre Dame. We're back after this. You're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
Do you have everything you need? Paper, pencils?
We only ask that you do your best.
I made you a snack.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
On this month's edition of IPFW Up Close, we'll be talking about the upcoming visit to IPFW by Dr. Richard Light, a Harvard professor who's done extensive research on what college students really think about college. And we'll talk with some award-winning athletes, not for their prowess on the fields of play, but for their philanthropy efforts. Join me, Susan Alderman, for IPFW Up Close, Sundays at noon on College Access, Channel 56.
Back at the Coliseum, first half action here with you on UPN Fort Wayne. Look
I just saw a cheerleader, they're throwing some souvenirs into the crowd, and she misfired it, threw it right into the bench.
Nice. Free stuff at the games. How can you go wrong?
In fact, the referee has one.
Look at that. If the official's getting one.
He could give it to Mike Bray, who's standing right next to him, the Notre Dame coach.
Coach Bray and the Notre Dame bench right in front of our broadcast position here courtside. Dons with an inbound.
And Notre Dame will usually go to a 2-3 zone off the inbounds play, and you see Scott trapped in the corner. He probably should have called a timeout there instead of trying to bounce the ball off a defender.
Rob Kurtz, number 31, into the game for the first time, got the steal there, a sophomore in Mike Bray's lineup. Falls now, Francis and Best banging inside. There's Kurtz with his first touch.
This is trouble.
Francis up, right hand, and got it. Looking easy.
Yeah, Brett, he's catching the ball 3 feet away from the basket. He's going to score 90% of the time he gets it down there.
That big body is a load to handle in there. Notre Dame scores the first 8.
I wonder if we might see a Demi come in a little, just because he's a little longer than Tyler Best, and he might be able to do a little better job just making it tougher for Francis to score. He's still going to score.
At least make him work a little harder. Carruthers gets to the top of the lane and hits the fadeaway. Dons on the board.
I was about to say that was a little too much one-on-one, but Carruthers knew what he was doing. He backed him down and got about a 12-footer, so that turned out to be a very good shot.
So after 8 misses, IPFW gets his first hit, and they're down by half a dozen.
You see Ryan Ayers getting ready to check in for the Fighting Irish, son of Randy Ayers, former coach at Ohio State.
Falls on the drive that time, lost his defender, and scores an easy 2.
That was a nice set play, good pick, and Kyle Savely getting ready to come in for the Dons. That's what they need, Mr. Energy.
So a couple of freshmen will check in at the next stop, and Savely has been quite the spark all season. The Dons could use that right now. Down to 15 on the shot clock. Pompey, a little one-on-one against McElharney. Stops, pops, got it.
Well, that ball looked like it slipped out of his hand, but he was so close he didn't have to be that accurate with the shot. He caught the back rim and it fell right down.
So teams trade baskets, keeps us at a 6-point margin. Falls on the move again.
Really, the Dons' defense has been pretty good in the first 6 minutes of this ball game, but the offense is just, I mean, they're shooting 2 out of 10, 0 for 5 from 3.
McElharney went one way, Kurtz looked the other, and the Irish turn it over. Ayers will come in to replace Carter. Ryan Ayers, 6'8" freshman, 6'8", 203 from Pennsylvania.
Again, son of Randy Ayers. You may remember him as the coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes. Didn't he coach the Sixers for a little while,
too? He did. Coached a couple of great teams at Ohio State as well.
When they had Jimmy Jackson.
Fantastic.
I'd be a good coach with Jim Jackson.
So now the Dons trying to get it back under half a dozen. Here's Carruthers against Falls.
Almost
Savely
lost it, and then he gave it away.
Lost it to McElharney. He'll stop, pull up for a 3, and got it.
You said it, Notre Dame loves to shoot the 3, and there's one right there.
The first one they hit goes to the freshman McElharney, gives them their biggest lead at 9 points. The Dons try to answer now. Safely, the drive, a little off balance, falls on the defense. Best took it away though, up and got it to go under Francis.
Safely knocked that ball away from Turin Francis. He knew he threw up a really bad shot, but he made up for it with some good defensive hustle.
So Best with his first 2. Here's a good matchup with Safely and McElharney, and Kyle forces another turnover.
You know, I talked to him after the last home game against Marygrove about how he does that, and he said he works on that all the time, harassing the guys and trying to cause the turnovers. He's really, really good at that. They just want to see him play a little more under control. Kyle Savely told me he plays a lot of street ball during the summer, and he has to remember what kind of a game he's in. He has to be a little more structured in a game like this, and he's learning.
And you'll see glimpses of that street ball finesse come out of Kyle when he gets the energy up and he gets the bounce going.
And he also plays a lot like, we've commented on this before, Jason Williams, who now plays for the Miami Heat. And he told me that he's patterned his game after him.
3 for Carruthers, no. Carter had the rebound, but
dribbled it out of bounds.
Right on the baseline.
Another turnover there. That's 4 now for Notre Dame. Both teams have 4.
So a little mental error there on the Notre Dame 6'4" junior. Dons will get an opportunity, and now Coach Fife having a quick word with one of the officials.
Not happy about something. I don't know what it is.
Whatever it is, he agrees. Okay. The official telling Coach to keep himself close to the bench.
You know, they've got that little coaching box. They're supposed to stay behind the line. That's all. Mike Bray sort of chuckled at that one.
So the Dons with another opportunity on this possession. Looking around to Scott. He's still looking for his first points.
He's been a terrific scorer all season long.
Carruthers gets cut off by Kurtz. Gets it back. Safely for 3 in the corner. That was deflected.
Luke Zeller. Was that Luke? No, that was 31.
Kurtz got out there to get a hand on that. He came in to replace Zeller, who's getting his first break of the half.
Kurtz 6'9", and Savely listed generously at 6 foot.
Maybe with some really tall shoes on. Carter at the top. There he goes to the basket against Carruthers. Foul on the way is on Hawkins. Little grab in the middle of the lane. And now Notre Dame going to bring Rick Cornett in for the first time. Their other big senior. 6'9", 244. We take a look at the drive again.
You can see Hawkins just reach in. He's going for the help. He got ball, but he got some arm too. That was a pretty close call, but from our angle, you could definitely see where he got Carter on the arm.
Carruthers having to be pretty active against Carter, who's moving well without the ball here in the first half. There's McElharney, another 3, in and out. Rebound for the Dons.
Great box out by Savely, the 6-footer. He had 8 rebounds in the last home game at 6 foot.
He is in there definitely to battle from the time he hits the floor. Now he's got the basketball.
And Brad, you can just tell when you watch him play, he just loves playing ball. There's nothing he'd rather be doing.
Yep, never stops moving and always just has that extra little nip in his step. Here goes Best against Cornett. Stops, kick out. Scott the drive against a double team on the baseline. That's short. Hawkins comes in crashing the boards. Offensive
Great hustle
rebound.
by Hawk.
Another chance for the Dons. Here's Carruthers. Middle of the lane, and got the roll.
Good in and out. Again, Carruthers not settling for the three. He took a couple of threes early that time. He took the extra couple of dribbles, got inside, good shot fake, and made the 8-footer.
Second field goal for Q. Carter with the travel at the other end. Another turnover and another timeout. So 11:05 to go in the first half. Dons within 5. We'll be back with more after this. You're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
Are you in there? What's up? The show's at 7. Whoa. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Half action continuing. Randy, Coach Fife has to be pretty happy with that stretch of 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, the Dons were 0 for 8. Now they're 4 for 16, so they've made 50% of their last 8 shot. That's pretty good. And Brad, the key to me right now, Dons 11 rebounds to 9 for Notre Dame. So if the Dons can hold their own on the boards against these guys like Justin Hawkins, slipping in right there, getting the big rebound, and that set up a basket.
Here's
like Quentin Carruthers.
Last sequence, and it's been a lot of battling underneath at both ends here in the first half.
Here's that 1-2-2 3-quarter press again.
Pressure in the backcourt. Dons get through it, and Pompey will go to Savely, and he'll set it up.
But they did the right thing that time. The guys turned around and looked and came back to get the ball instead of standing around against the press.
Dons with a chance to get it down to one possession. 3 for Pompey. Halfway down. Carter with his 4th rebound of this first half. Falls, thought about it. And now he'll think about it again, an open 3, and got it. That's his shot.
Did you see the beautiful release and rotation on that ball? That's textbook.
Step, catch, release, and splash. It's good, and it's 16-8 now as it goes back to an 8-point margin. Scott at the other end misses, and a board for Carter again.
DeWitt Scott just wants to get off the schneid right now. He's looking to score. He's taken 4 shots, and he hasn't made one. Unusual for him. He's been shooting the ball pretty well.
Falls with it now against Pompey. Carter, we've seen a lot of him at the top of the key.
Scott, another guy though, Brad. Remember the last game, he shot 4 3-pointers in the first half, so all he took was 3-pointers. Second half, he started taking it to the basket and had a great half.
Cornette in the lane. Nice move inside against Best. Foul called.
I think it might be on 31 maybe, Kurt.
Kurt's on the rebound. This will be his first personal foul.
Luke Zeller checking back in, and here comes the press again off of the inbounds play. It's the 1-2-2 again. Occasionally they'll go to a diamond press. Well, they broke that easily.
Got it up nice and quick.
Would have liked to have seen Scott attack, though, once they got it past, because the Dons actually had a quick 3-on-2 at that point.
Scott, another 3. He keeps trying to get one of those to go, and it just isn't happening right now.
Best almost kept that alive. Yeah, Scott needs to do a little shot fake on a 3 and take it inside. Either dish it or shoot it then.
Falls wanted to shoot, but had a hand from Pompey in his face. Carter on the drive, grab on the way by Scott, commits the foul.
Yeah, that's a bit of a frustration foul right there, because he's not getting a shot to fall. He's 0 for 5, and sometimes you just take it out on somebody on the defensive end.
3rd team foul on the Dons. In the corner, falls again, leaning away from that one and hits it.
Same spot, same result. Again, you don't want to let him get off early. He's 3 out of 5 now, 2 out of 3 from three-point land. Someone's going to have to get a hand in his face and maybe on his arm.
Hawkins open on the baseline, got that one.
That was a great drive and dish by Kyle Savely, and that's why he's in there. He creates offense and he creates defense. Look at the one-man press.
Hill giving fits to Falls right there, and a deflection by Scott, got a hand on it.
There, you get a good offensive possession and you pick it up on defense too.
Francis back in, Cornette out.
You see, it's a 9-point lead with Francis coming back in. Let's see how that changes in the next few minutes.
And away from the ball, a foul.
A hold.
Looks like right there. Pompey trying to fight through a screen there from Zeller. Coach Mike Bray's team coming in, starting to get a little bit of momentum after kind of a slow start to their season. Off the inbound, right to Francis. Good double team. Back to him against Best, right to the hole and scores.
Again, Brad, they're letting him get the ball too low, way too close to the hole.
Third field goal for Francis, 3 for Scott. Finally got one to go. After missing his first 5 opportunities, he hits that one, and it goes back to an 8-point margin.
But again, we don't want to see him settling for the 3. He's taken 5 3-pointers already. That's as many as most guys will take in a ball game. Ooh, Savely almost got the steal there, but it bounced off his foot.
McElharney driving down low, got it just off of Savely's foot. Kyle will get a break now. Good effort for his first handful of minutes in the first half.
Yeah, he does a little of everything. 2 assists, got a rebound.
Falls leaning in. No.
Carter come in, get the rebound.
He's got half a dozen boards, 2 in the foul there. Coach Fife not happy with that one.
I don't know if that was a bad block out, really. That was just a tremendous athletic rebound. He just came flying across, hanging in the air, and went over people to grab that ball.
Russell Carter, the 6'4 junior.
Plays a lot bigger than that.
Absolutely. And he is a solid 223. See, he is a well-built young man. Hits the free throw.
Looks like he could play a little wide receiver or linebacker for the football team.
I was going to say, if Coach Weiss needs maybe another stray linebacker, or a free safety perhaps.
You know, a lot of tight ends are coming from college basketball now.
That's exactly right. So the lead double figures now. 3 for Hawkins. Got it.
All of a sudden, the Dons offense is awake. They didn't score for, the first 5 minutes of the ball game, and now after 12 minutes, they've got 16, so things are definitely looking up.
After that bad stretch of shooting to start the game, they're 50% since. Carter, another drive, wild flip shot. Oh, he got it back again. Goes up, but took a step. And another turnover for the Irish, and another break for us. 7:48 to go in the first half. IPFW hanging in, down 24-16. We're back with more after this. You're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
Oh, yes, to the 40, to the 50, to the 40 of Dedham. He's going down the sideline, and it's up.
If legislation being considered now in the U.S. Congress passes, you won't see your local team or your government or local events and news on this TV channel. Telecom giants want to end the funding source for this and other local channels. And with such action, end your rights to watch or produce local programming. Don't let local access become won't see TV. Go to SaveMyFreeSpeech.net or AllianceCM.org now and learn how you can help. Become informed and contact your representatives in Washington. The time for your action is now. Otherwise, this is all you'll see here soon.
Back here at the Coliseum, exciting night here tonight as Notre Dame comes to town to take on the Mastodons. Brad Brown and Randy Shipman here with you on UPN Fort Wayne. Thanks for joining us on this brisk Sunday evening outside. A warm one in here.
Wouldn't you like to see a crowd like this for every ball game? It's a great atmosphere when it's like this.
Yes, been a lot of fun here.
Players feed off of this, no question.
From the word go, came in here about an hour before game time tonight. The players were fired up. Carruthers fired up on that drive. Almost got one to go.
Nice aggressive move. He's going to get a couple of free throws out of it. The first 2 of the night for the Dons. Dons were leading that rebound battle. Remember, Brad, 11-9. Irish now lead at 14-12.
Carter has half of those 14 rebounds with 7. He is a machine right now.
And 2 or 3 of those on the offensive end.
Carruthers to the line. The 6'3 junior hits the free throw.
We talked about this a lot all season. The Dons have to take advantage of the free throw line because they're not a great scoring team. When you get those chances for free points, unguarded points, you got to get them. And, of course, I just jinxed it.
1 out of 2 that trip. 71% on the season for Carruthers. That's the team percentage as well.
1 out of 2 is not even good enough for Meatloaf. It's got to be at least 2 out of 3.
And so the margin back to 7. Francis, so he got a little space, and there he goes to the rim again.
There was a switch on that play, and Carruthers was guarding Francis. And that's, as our friend Dick Vitale would say, that's an NC'er, baby, no contest.
No contest. That is a mismatch for sure.
Francis now has 8 points, 4 rebounds.
He and Falls with 8 apiece, leading the way for the Irish. Best trying to take it in against Francis. Up and under and around, can't get it.
They could have called a carry on Tyler Best, not once, but twice though. And Mike Bray was up asking for it. And that's a point of emphasis this year in college basketball. Now, if you're standing at midcourt and nobody's guarding you to turn over, they're not going to say anything. But when you're using it to your advantage, they're going to call it, or they're supposed to call it.
And here back at the other end is Francis against Best, but he'll go to Carter. Down to 13 on the shot clock. Falls on the outside. He could pull the trigger anytime.
That's trouble.
Francis breaks free. Hawkins got a hand on it. Best saves it. Pompey's got it. Here come the Dons.
Oh, boy, Francis had it in underneath, but he just sort of jumped funny, or he didn't know exactly where he was on the court.
Kind of looked like he got his feet crossed up or something. Here comes Pompey on the drive. Ooh, nobody home. He got up in the air. All kinds of fingers on the ball, but it ends up going to Notre Dame.
I think the only one open in the corner was the Leprechaun.
I think he would have shot it.
But he was standing out of bounds, that wouldn't have counted. Tyler Best, I think, is a little tired right now, too. He's played the whole game. And he's getting pushed on all night by Francis, and also when Rick Cornett came in, which isn't really much of a break.
Yeah, that wears me out over here, 60, 70 feet away. Željko Edgerich in for the first time, number 50 for the Dons. He'll get his opportunity to get leaned on right now, and there they go to Francis. He goes to the dribble. Zeller, big man will put up the three. That's a pretty shot for him.
He can shoot the tray. We told he's a big guy, but he'll play smaller than he is.
6'11" freshman from Washington, Indiana, hits it, and the lead goes to a dozen.
Yeah, he's hit some big threes in his career, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I know one in particular in high school.
From about 45 feet away that night at the state finals back in March.
Might have won him the Mr. Basketball.
Class 3A champs from Washington High School last season and took his show to South Bend. Here goes Hawkins on the drive, pull-up, jumper, that one wide left.
You know, after never having a Mr. Basketball play at Notre Dame, they've had two now, Chris Thomas and Luke Zeller.
Thomas, of course, a very successful career up at Notre Dame. Zeller with the basketball now. Hawkins guarding him, giving up some height, but look at Hawkins, aggressive there, and got the charge. Hawkins taking an elbow there as Zeller swung around.
Mike Bray, shall I say, didn't exactly agree with that call. But I don't think he's real happy with Zeller, too, just standing there holding on to the ball instead of throwing it to somebody.
Close to a 5-second violation, I think, also. Either way, it was bound to be a turnover pretty quickly.
Coach would probably rather see the 5-second call and save the foul on the player.
Hawkins doing what he does best, getting in there and getting physical.
So he hasn't hit the floor yet tonight. Oh, no, I guess he did hit the floor right there.
That was the first one, that's
right.
right.
He didn't dive after the ball yet tonight. Not a lot of fouls in this game. Only 9 fouls called in the first 15 minutes.
Spin move Best against Francis. Up, got him off his feet to the front of the rim.
That was a terrific move. I didn't think he could get that shot off without walking, but he managed.
He used every bit of that pivot foot that he had set. Now Francis try and match him at the other end, perhaps. Back out to Carter. Baseline. That one's going to be long. Rebound. Ends up in the hands of Savely. He'll push it up. Kyle on the run with a high dribble. Got into traffic. Dumped it off.
Great play by Savely to get rid of it before he traveled.
Now they go back inside to Hawkins. Scott, another three. Yes, he does.
He spotted up for that one. He didn't force it all. Hawkins drew the double team, dished it out to the open man, and Brad, the lead's down to 7. The Dons playing well, and the crowd's into it.
Back-to-back baskets. Get it back to single digits.
This is trouble. Francis
inside, and they'll get Best on the little hand check.
That's okay.
Before.
That's only 5 team fouls. That's okay. 6, sorry.
Yep, there's number 6. First foul on Best. A couple subs for the Irish. Kurt's back in.
And you know what? If you have to send him to the line, Francis, not too bad, 73%. Zeller, only 56%. Russell Carter, 59%, though he hit 2 tonight. There's still the one that amazes me that Falls, he's such a great shooter, only a 58% free throws.
That's an interesting number. We'll see if he gets an opportunity later on. Getting an opportunity here will be Francis as he went strong to the basket and got fouled again.
Well, in the pregame, I said that I don't think necessarily think he's going to score this many, but I think Francis will be disappointed if he doesn't go for about 25 points, 15 rebounds tonight, because he just has such a huge size advantage over these guys and an experience advantage. He's played so many big games in his career.
Foul on Carruthers was his 3rd, so a little trouble in that column on the score sheet. He'll be done for the half with 4:07 on the clock.
Brad Pompey checking back in for Carruthers. It's now 9 points for Francis.
Second free throw on the way for the big man from Boston.
He's pretty much a double-double waiting to happen. I think he averages a double-double for his career. It's nice, very close.
Just went over 1,000 points on his career in that last game, win over Florida International for the Fighting Irish. 31-22, final 4 minutes of the half. Safely got in the air and tossed it away. The Dons will keep it. We'll take another timeout. 3:57 to go in the first half. Notre Dame by 9. Back to the Coliseum after this. You're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
Mom, Dad, you know we love kids, and I've made a decision that will totally change my life. Cameron's too. It's a huge responsibility, leading someone into, who knows, communication or science or math. That's what life's all about, right? Learning so you can pass on knowledge to younger minds. Dad, Mom, I want to be a teacher.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
On this month's edition of IPFW Up Close, we'll be talking about the upcoming visit to IPFW by Dr. Richard Light, a Harvard professor who's done extensive research on what college students really think about college. And we'll talk with some award-winning athletes, not for their prowess on the fields of play, but for their philanthropy efforts. Join me, Susan Alderman, for IPFW Up Close, Sundays at noon on College Access Channel 56.
There's some of the big crowd here at the Coliseum tonight checking out this one. The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame leading IPFW 31-22. Well, Don working the floor tonight.
Donnie Jackson there.
Nice.
He's not wearing a glove. And I can't tell if his voice is really high-pitched.
The entertainment is included with the price of admission here tonight.
I don't think he's had too much plastic surgery either.
He looks good.
No, he looks great. He looks natural. That's my point.
Very nice. So after spotting Notre Dame those first 8 points, the Dons have played within a point here over the course of the last, let's say, 14 minutes.
That was a touchdown pass there just to get the ball in bounds. With just about 4 minutes to go in the first half, Dons down 9. They want to go into the locker room under 10. They want to go in at least under 10 and feel like you're right in the ballgame.
They'd be happy to play even this last break of the first half, down to 7 on the shot clock. Now 5, Best against Francis, 3 to shoot, off balance, can't get it, Kurtz the rebound.
Pretty much all he could do, and Best needs to take some shots because you have to make Francis play defense.
So back at the other end for Notre Dame. Kurtz out there with the ball. Now Carter, 5 points and 8 rebounds in this first half for Carter. We'll go back to Francis, gets Best moving, Best hit the deck, another man hits the deck, Kurtz goes up.
Bodies everywhere.
About 4 bodies on the floor down there, including Hawkins, and he's still down. Justin landed awkwardly on his shoulder, it looks like.
He's
getting up with a little help.
I think he banged his left knee a little.
It's a little slow to come up, but as he usually does, Justin bouncing right back.
You see him going down. Oh, he fell over Best, and it was sort of the domino effect there.
One went down, and it ended up with 3 or 4 of them down. So Kurtz to the line, hits the free throw. Rob Kurtz, 6'9", sophomore from Pennsylvania.
80% free throw shooter on the year, but he's only shot, well, that was his 6th free throw of the year, so he hasn't shot too many, 4 out of 5.
Averaging about 19 minutes a game, so he's given a solid effort to Coach Bray off the bench this season.
Swish both of those, gets the lead back up to 11.
33-22 as we come upon the 3-minute mark here in the first half. Pompey with it now. Scott and Carter gets a steal, adding more to his tally sheet all the way down.
Biff, he misses the layup.
Biff the layup, loose ball. Kurtz got it, threw it away. Hawkins ends up with it. The Dons
knocked away.
Catch a break there. Savely, pull up 3. Oh, bank is open.
I thought they closed there on Sunday. Listen to the crowd, and Savely's cracking up because he wasn't trying to bank that one, I guarantee it.
That gets it back down to 8. Savely and McIlharney one-on-one out here, and Kyle called for the foul.
And Fife is upset. He's like, why are you pressing him that closely, that far out? He's not going to score from 40 feet away. Safely excited, though, after hitting that bank 3.
For sure. Coaches never like to see those fouls that far from the basket. And
here it is again. Watch him. He pulls up, and yes, the bank is open Sunday at 6:45.
Dink for 3. McIlharney free throw at the other end.
Notre Dame shooting the free throws pretty well tonight. 8 out of 8, I'd say that's pretty well.
Yeah, they've got an 8-1 advantage at the free throw line.
McIlharney has hit 10 out of 10 this season now.
Well, 2 for 2 there. They have
10 out of 10 on the season.
An 8-point edge at the free throw line and only 10-point advantage in the game. So there's a big part of that right there.
Well, but the Dons have taken 14 threes, Brad. You're not going to get fouled shooting 3-pointers.
Right.
If you're aggressive and taking the ball in, now that's a good move by Scott.
Nice shot, too.
That's a great move by Scott. If you're aggressive and you take the ball to the basket, they're going to call fouls. Even if you don't get fouls, you're going to get some called, and that's what Notre Dame is doing. There's a sloppy turnover by Kurtz.
Kurtz out at the top, throws it away. Turnover number 7 for Notre Dame.
Dons have turned it over 6 times. That's pretty good. The Dons have been turning it over a lot more than that, and we thought that Notre Dame might have some turnover problems without Chris Quinn.
Quinn on the bench tonight with a bruised bone in his left ankle.
And no offense at all to the Dons' effort, but if Chris Quinn's in there, it's probably a bit of a different ballgame.
Savely with it now. Look at him go inside.
I think he walked.
Caught in traffic. No, he got fouled.
Well, he took it inside, so he might have gotten pushed. Maybe that's why he walked.
Only team foul number 4 on Notre Dame.
But again, when you're shooting all those 3-pointers, you're not going to commit that many fouls.
Spent a lot of time working the ball out around the perimeter. Carter back in.
Carter's just having a really good game right now.
Yeah, he's been solid with 5 points and 8 boards.
8 boards.
Steal to go with that. Dons toss it to the backcourt. Minute 47 to go.
Twice they've had to do that, throw it all the way in the back to get it open because Notre Dame plays that 2-3 zone defense off of the out of bounds underneath.
They stay in that 2-3 zone here. Savely, the drive, had it, lost it, and a turnover.
He was trying to get rid of the ball, and somebody tapped it right before he could dish it.
So down to a minute and a half here in the first. 35-27. The advantage for Notre Dame. They've led by as many as a dozen. Francis back to Falls. 3, no. Carter, another one.
Yeah, there's a surprise.
Throw it up, and the foul called by the official out at the top.
On Savely, and he's like, what did I do? I'm just standing here.
Savely, the little man, got hung up in there, and he's the culprit with the personal.
Carter just, simply rising above everybody.
He is an impressive leaper down there in traffic.
And he's got enough beef on him where he can clear people out, too. 3 out of 3 from the line tonight. Only 1 out of 5 from the floor.
2 here. Misses that first free throw.
Not close, yeah, because the Dons just went into the double bonus with the 10th foul.
First miss of the night from the line for the Irish after 9 good ones.
With a minute 16 to go in the first half, the Dons should get at least 2 possessions here. So, again, they're down 9. They'd really like to get it down to, 7, maybe even 6 if they could by the half. That'd just be huge for IPFW.
So a couple big possessions here as we come upon the final minute. Carter had a steal but stumbled. Scott will run it down.
With the ball right now.
Shot clock did not reset. No, threw it away anyway.
Throwing the ball away. Carter. Oh, no. Looked like he threw it away, but they're going to say it got hit.
Call on the tip. So Notre Dame's going to keep it. And Coach Bray is going to take a 30-second timeout.
Game getting a little too sloppy for his taste, too. The Dons those are just careless turnovers. That's exactly what they are.
56.2. It's going to be Notre Dame basketball and 33 on the shot clock. Now, Randy, Notre Dame has a chance to talk about a 2-for-1 here.
Yeah, they could. So again, we've talked about this year and last year. You don't see that in college a lot when you see it in the pros all the time. And I think one of the reasons might be because in the pros, when you have quarters, you have 4 opportunities to do that. In college, you have 2 opportunities to do it. So maybe they don't think it's important, but you know what I mean? If I'm coaching, I want as many possessions as I can get.
Right, you take situations into account too. Notre Dame up 9 at this point would be probably pretty content at taking the better part of this 33 seconds and trying to slow the end of this half down, perhaps double
if you
figure
can get a shot off in the next 10 seconds, a good shot, take it, and then you're going to get the ball back.
And they'll go for a quick one from Falls. He missed, and a foul on the rebound. Looks like it'll be on Francis.
He's not happy with that one, but now the Dons, and Mike Bray definitely told him to get a 2-for-1 on that.
Yep, they went right to Falls in the quick shot, but now the Dons will have that same opportunity. It's just a couple seconds ran off the clock there.
I'm no Pete Rose, but I'm betting they don't go for the quick shot, the Dons.
Team foul number 5 on Notre Dame, so they still have 1 to give. First foul on Francis. So
I think right now the Dons are just more concerned about getting off a good shot and not turning the ball over.
See the clock running there, 38 seconds. Best will take a 3. That one's good.
That's a good shot, but again, Brad, the penetration set up that shot.
Got it to the lane.
Penetrated, The defense collapsed, and Best stepped out. He was wide open for the three-pointer. That's why they just can't stand outside and shoot threes. Guys have to drive the ball, and you dish it out to the three-pointer.
15 seconds now for McElharney. Irish to play for the final shot of the half. One-on-one. Kick it to Francis. Little pick and roll. Drive. Threw it up and got it.
I don't know how he made that. He wasn't comfortable with it out there.
Look at Stavely dashing down the floor. Threw it up. Got fouled on the sideline before the shot. Still a tenth of a second up there.
Yeah, but at a tenth of a second, all you can do is tip the ball. You can't shoot it. Now, will they? I don't think that they can put any time back on the clock. Dane Fife may try to get some time back on the clock, but all you can do is throw it at the rim and have somebody touch it.
Ayers in for Falls. So let's see what Hawkins does over here. He'll throw it in on the side.
Fife right now is asking him to put some more time back on the clock.
Throw it in and up, and that'll do it. Brings us to the halftime break. 38-30, a good effort by the Dons. Again, Notre Dame scored the first 8 points, and it was 30-30 after that, so a solid effort here in the first 20 minutes. Take time out, come back with our Centennial Wireless halftime report. IPFW Chancellor Michael Wartell will be Randy's guest to talk about some of the goings-on on campus, and we'll do that after this break. You're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
Did you know IPFW has its very own pep band? The Stomp Band is looking for more members, and we want you to join. IPFW students even receive a credit for their participation. Perfection is not required, just enthusiasm and a desire to share your school spirit. Check out our website for more information. Don't just play, stomp.
On this month's edition of IPFW Up Close, we'll be talking about the upcoming visit to IPFW by Dr. Richard Light, a Harvard professor who's done extensive research on what college students really think about college. And we'll talk with some award-winning athletes, not for their prowess on the fields of play, but for their philanthropy efforts. Join me, Susan Alderman, for IPFW Up Close, Sundays at noon on College Access Channel 56.
Do you have everything you need? Paper, pencils?
We only ask that you do your best.
And make you a snack.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Did you know IPFW has its very own pep band? The Stomp Band is looking for more members, and we want you to join. IPFW students even receive a credit for their participation. Perfection is not required, just enthusiasm and a desire to share your school spirit. Check out our website for more information. Don't just play, stomp.
Thanks, Brad. Chancellor, I hate to tell you, but they're not applauding us right now. They're applauding these guys doing some wild dunks out there. Is this unbelievable coming to a game tonight, seeing all these people out here? I mean, this is incredible for the school.
Well, it's wonderful, that, as you said, to see this incredible crowd. And, you know, for IPFW basketball, it's a new experience for us. I'd like to see it happen all the time. But the basketball's exciting, so it could happen all the time.
Yeah, very good first half, too. Thinking about a new experience, what about Larry Lee donating $5 million to the university?
Well, Larry has been just an incredibly loyal supporter of the university, and he believes in IPFW as an important resource for Northeast Indiana. He loves sports, loves the university, and it was just a natural. And he's a wonderfully generous man. just has an incredible loyalty to the institution.
When you get a big donation like that, does that prompt other people to maybe step up to the plate as well?
Very often it does. It gives folks, it makes folks realize that IPFW is a worthy cause, and that an investment in IPFW is an investment in the future in Northeast Indiana.
We're in year 3 of Division I athletics now. What do you think of the progress of the university?
Well, it's funny. Folks look at a university and the public doesn't understand how high quality the education is.
Right.
But what they understand is that we now have housing, we now have Division I athletics, we have an incredible range of student activities. Those are the things that they see, and those are the things that they associate with what they think of as a real university. So now that we have Division I athletics, housing, all the other things, we're a real university to this community.
So people who live here, I think I know what you're saying. They sometimes forget that you get a degree from Indiana or from Purdue, and that's pretty high, top notch.
That's a great selling point for us, but in addition to that, the quality of the education at IPFW is so different than going to those large universities. Our average class size is 19, so you have an interaction with the professor that's just second to none. And folks are beginning to realize that as well. We get more of the top 10 students who graduate from Allen County high schools than any other institution.
I know it's been an exciting year for academics, fundraising, and also for athletics. We're looking at some of the women's volleyball. There's a team that won over 20 matches again this year. I know you've been out to some of them. They're pretty darn good, these gals.
All of them. And I'll tell you, our women's volleyball team is just a wonderful group of women. They absolutely had a stunning season, and I expect them to do better next year.
And isn't one of the things, too, is how well the student athletes represent the community, not just around town, but all over the country?
Well, it really is neat to see and hear what people say about our athletes. Our athletes make an incredible impression everywhere in the community, and they do community service activities as well. And when you see them traveling, they make a great impression for IPFW.
I know I've talked to Athletic Director Mark Pope about this ad nauseum, but I know I have to ask you too about getting in a conference, because I know that the presidents and chancellors of the universities are just so tied into athletics now, much more than it used to be.
The NC2A insists that the presidents be responsible for athletics. That's very important. But as Mark Pope, I know, told you, he works every day to get us into a conference, and I work as well. I can't say that it's right on the top of my list, but that's why we have an athletic director. It's very difficult getting into a conference these days. It's very different than it was even 10 years ago. And we're going to have to be patient. We'll work at it. Eventually, we'll get into a conference. It's a question of when, not if.
Any holiday greetings for the fans?
I'm sorry, I didn't.
Any holiday greetings for the fans?
Well, I hope everybody has a great and peaceful holiday season.
Okay, you too, Chancellor. Thanks for joining us. Let's throw it back to Brad if he can hear me over there.
Randy and Chancellor Wartell, thank you. The Extreme Team performing here at halftime tonight at the Coliseum, putting on quite a show for this crowd of about 8,000 plus. As we are in our break at 38-30 with Notre Dame on top. We're going to take another timeout here from the Coliseum, talk more about the first half, including some stats, leading scores, and some of the numbers when we come back on the Centennial Wireless Halftime Report after this. You're watching IPFW Basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
Pizza! I must eat. Wait, what is this? Capsicum anum? Agaricus bisporus? Allium cepa?
Can we eat this?
Peppers, mushrooms, and onions. Eat your pizza, man.
Honey.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Oh, yes, to the 40, to the 50, to the 40 of Dedham. He's going down the sideline, and it's up.
If legislation being considered now in the U.S. Congress passes, you won't see your local team or your government or local events and news on this TV channel. Telecom giants want to end the funding source for this and other local channels. And with such action, end your rights to watch or produce local programming. Don't let local access become won't see TV. Go to savemyfreespeech.net or alliancecm.org now and learn how you can help. Become informed and contact your representatives in Washington. The time for your action is now. Otherwise, this is all you'll see here soon.
Did you know IPFW has its very own pep band? The Stomp Band is looking for more members and we want you to join. IPFW students even receive a credit for their participation. Perfection is not required, just enthusiasm and a desire to share your school spirit. Check out our website for more information. Don't just play, stomp.
On this month's edition of IPFW Up Close, we'll be talking about the upcoming visit to IPFW by Dr. Richard Light, a Harvard professor who's done extensive research on what college students really think about college. And we'll talk with some award-winning athletes, not for their prowess on the fields of play, but for their philanthropy efforts. Join me, Susan Alderman, for IPFW Up Close, Sundays at noon on College Access, Channel 56.
Back here, halftime at Memorial Coliseum on our Centennial Wireless halftime report. Notre Dame 30, IPFW 38 is the score. Brad Brown and Randy Schiffman here with you. Randy, as we take a look at that first half, the first 3 minutes, the Dons couldn't score. They
couldn't throw it in the ocean.
Nothing. Missed their first 8 shots, and then over the course of the rest of the half, 12 for 22. They shot 56%, and honestly, down 8, you talked about it. Single digits is what they wanted.
Yeah, and if Turin Francis doesn't make that shot in the last few seconds, I mean, he just threw the ball up. It was falling off his hands. He had nothing else to do with it. We're looking at a 6-point ball game. The Dons are starting to lose the battle of the boards, though. They were up 11-9, remember? And now they're down 20-15. So that means from that point on, they've been out-rebounded 11-4. That's big. Turnovers pretty even, 8-7. So that's not bad. Free throw line, though, also killing IPFW. The Dons only 1 out of 2 at the line. They've only gotten 2 attempts. The 2 by Quentin Carruthers. 10 out of 11 from the line for the Irish. That's 9 right there, and they're up by 8. That's the difference in the ballgame.
We focus so much on Francis and Cornette being inside, but Carter has been the big man here in the first half.
9 rebounds for Carter, 4 out of 5 from the line. He's only 1 out of 5 from the free throws. You see the percentages there. But I'll tell you what, the Dons really are playing a terrific ball game. After that slow start, Brad, they were down, it seemed like, 10, 12 the whole time, and they cut it down to 6, and now they have it at 8 at the half. The crowd's really getting into the ball game. The Notre Dame fans are also getting into it now because a lot of them came out here thinking like, oh, this is just going to be an easy win. And they know it's a ball game right now, especially playing without Chris Quinn, their leader.
That's it. We take a look at leading scorers from the first half. Kyle Savely at 12 came from, I think it was from the last game. So Savely actually.
Turin Francis has a dozen right now. Yep. Remember, I think he's shooting for 25 tonight at least, and he's halfway there, virtually.
With 12. Falls has a couple of threes to go with his scoring, and it's Scott leading the way for the Dons here in the first half. IPFW with 6 guys that have scored here in the first half, though, so they've been able to
spreading it out well, and Best with 7 points, which is important because he needs to make Francis play some defense, because if whoever he's guarding is not doing much, Francis will just fade off of him, and he plays a one-man zone, and that's not good.
Okay, we'll take another timeout. Second half action is coming up next. Notre Dame 30, Notre Dame leading IPFW 38-30. This has been your Centennial Wireless halftime report. Second half action after this. You're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
That book was all right. You know, if she continues to spill product at a rate of 3 per hour, unit cost, say 60 cents. Factor in breakage, downtime, lost sales. You're looking at $2,400 a month. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Did you know IPFW has its very own pep band? The Stomp Band is looking for more members and we want you to join. IPFW students even receive a credit for their participation. Perfection is not required, just enthusiasm and a desire to share your school spirit. Check out our website for more information. Don't just play, stomp.
Do you have everything you need? Paper, pencils?
We only ask that you do your best.
I made you a snack.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
On this month's edition of IPFW Up Close, we'll be talking about the upcoming visit to IPFW by Dr. Richard Light, a Harvard professor who's done extensive research on what college students really think about college. And we'll talk with some award-winning athletes, not for their prowess on the fields of play, but for their philanthropy efforts. Join me, Susan Alderman, for IPFW Up Close, Sundays at noon on College Access, Channel 56.
Second half action getting set to go here at Memorial Coliseum. Brad Brown and Randy Schiffman here with you on UPN Fort Wayne. We'll have our next telecast coming up on Thursday night, the 22nd.
Weber State.
IPFW with Weber State of the Big Sky Conference, making the trip east.
I always remember Weber State because back in the day, Dick Motta used to coach the Bulls. He came from Weber State.
There you go.
It's the only reason I know about it.
Notre Dame led by as many as 12 in the first half.
So I don't use a Weber grill in the summer. I use a Weber grill. Dons get the ball to start the second half.
Dons were as close as 5 after that early 8-0 deficit. They got within 13-8 at the second media timeout.
By the way, those of you who may have been out and about doing some Christmas shopping today, the Colts are no longer perfect. Lost to San Diego. What was that, 26-17?
That's right. Chargers came in and played a good one today. And we go right inside on the first possession. Best, Francis got a block, and they'll go again. Best leans in, can't get it. Francis swatted it out of bounds, but so did Hawkins, and it'll be Irish basketball.
Those are two good shots. Well, the first one wasn't so good. He swatted that pretty easily. Second one wasn't bad.
So they go right at the big man. Carruthers really the only one in foul trouble. He had 3 in that first half, and he's out on the floor to start this second half. And a steal for Best.
That was a freshman pass there by Luke Zeller.
Zeller out there with McElharney, Francis, Falls, and Carter. There's Pompey on the drive.
Almost got that one to go. Smart move, though. He was in the air getting fouled. You might as well throw it up at the rim.
They were ready to count that one. A couple of free throws coming. Dons with their starting 5 on the floor. Scott, Hawkins, Carruthers, Pompey, and Best.
And I have a feeling, Brad, that Coach Fife said something to the players about being more aggressive in the second half because the best things happened for IPFW when they took the ball towards the basket as Pompey makes his first. We talked about before the game that Notre Dame loves to shoot the 3. Well, the Irish 4 for 9 in the first half. The Dons 5 out of 15. That's a lot of three-pointers.
They work the perimeter with that offense. 2 for 2 on the line for Pompey and gets the deficit back down to 6.
Tell you take the ball to the basket, good things happen. You might get fouled, you might get a three-point play, you might get double-teamed and hit an open man for a shot.
So Notre Dame going back to Francis. He takes a look. Carter keeps moving.
Falls was cutting. Wasn't that open, though. Francis did look at it.
McElharney in the corner. 15 on the shot clock. He breaks free and goes back to Francis. Now 10 to shoot. McElharney again. 7 on the shot clock. Francis in the post. Dribble. 4 to shoot. Over Best. Wild shot.
That should be a violation because the ball never hit the rim. Good move by the officials because sometimes you'll see them reset the clock just out of habit. And the refs were right on top of that one.
So shot high off the glass. Not enough. And the Dons get a big stop now.
And I want everybody to put that in their scorebook. We just complimented the officials.
It's rare, but it happens on occasion.
I want to hear we never compliment them.
Pompey's 3 misses.
Hawkins got fouled by Carter.
Hawkins up high for the rebound, and Carter hooked and coming through. Pick up his first personal.
Could you imagine what he was like as a kid, Hawkins? You know, well, he just was always running around doing something. He's just always moving.
I saw him play at Garrett High School. Not that many years ago, obviously, but it was the exact same thing in high school. He was a little shorter and a lot skinnier.
Yeah.
but the same just rambunctious all over the place, on the floor. Misses the shot there, but just very athletic kid.
He was close there, but he was surrounded by so many guys, he was afraid he was going to get hit, and there was a lot of time on the shot clock, and he would have been better off just dishing it out. I mean, the Dons had a chance to cut it there to 3 or 4 points.
Carter gets it to Francis, front of the rim, can't get the roll, but he'll go to the line.
But at that point, not a bad foul, as long as it's not on Carruthers. Just make him earn it.
Hawkins with his second personal. Now the Notre Dame bench coming up on that one. You can tell they're in a tight game here because these guys and these fans are all fired up here in the second half.
I'm surprised Francis didn't go up and try to dunk that ball.
We haven't seen him rock the rim just quite yet tonight. He's been up to the rim a lot of times, but has yet to rip one down. 2 shots here, and he hits. 3 for 3 on the line from the night now. It's point number 13.
He has a nice touch from the line for a big guy. 75% shooter. That's good.
You'll take that from your big man anytime. And it's another one. So Notre Dame, 12 of 13 from the line. One of the differences here tonight.
Francis up to 14 points.
Only player in double figures here tonight.
I think the Dons need to run a couple of plays for Quentin Scott.
They get one to DeWitt Scott in the corner.
DeWitt Scott, that's right, because I'm watching Quentin Carruthers dribbling the ball.
Quentin got it to him. DeWitt hits it. Another 3, and the Dons are within 5 at 40-35.
Thanks for catching that, Tommy.
They all score the same way. Carter got it into Francis, and he is working his game inside.
The big man's hungry. Keep feeding him.
Best the personal. That's his second. Kurtz back in for Zeller.
That was going to be an easy layup or a dunk for Francis. And, you know, he gets one of those big dunks, that can wake up the crowd for them. There's a good steal by Scott.
2-on-2. Carruthers up under Francis. He'll draw the foul. Almost got it to go.
You know, Brad, most guys would have settled for a little jumper there, but Carruthers is such a good leaper. He had no fear of taking it into Francis, and that's a great play. And he gets the 2 free throws now, and Francis picks up his second foul.
13 foul on the Irish.
Dons can cut the lead to 3 if he makes both of these.
17-24 to go here in the second half. This is as close as IPFW's been since falling behind 8-0 to start the game.
Almost since they walked out of the locker room, really.
There's 2 for 2 for Carruthers.
It's a 3-point ball game, and crowd's definitely into this ball game here, aren't they, Mr. Brown?
People showing up here just expecting to see Notre Dame walk away with it in these green shirts. The fans wearing the green are going, it's a ball game.
This isn't football.
We've got ourselves a good one. 3 minutes gone here in the second half. Falls in the corner. Little dribble move. That one's short. Underneath. There goes Hawkins flying again. That may have been on Francis. Let's see. Now it's on Kurtz.
31. Yeah.
His second.
He got pushed. He didn't get pushed as far as he flew, but
got to sell it.
Yeah, you know.
Part of Hawkins' game. He knows what he's doing out there.
This kid's what's Robert. Here comes that 1-2-2 press.
Over the top.
Dons have had no trouble with the press tonight.
Scott, pull up, short.
You know, if he would have followed that shot, he would have gotten the rebound. He thought he made it.
One and done that trip, and here come the Irish. Back again.
Because Francis came out to contest the shot, so Scott could have walked right past him and picked up that rebound.
There goes Carter. Great double team. They can't get it inside. Falls left open, though, and he hits it.
That's the guy you can't leave open. Yes, I know you have to double team, but you have to know who you're leaving. If he's open, somebody has to rotate over and get Falls. You always have to have a man on him. You got to leave the guy who's farthest away from the ball open on the other side of the court.
His third 3. He's in double figures now. Hawkins trying to answer. No. Rebound underneath. Carter gets another one. His 10th.
Tyler Best had a hand on that one, but couldn't control it. That shot by Falls was really good. Notre Dame was feeling the pressure until their big guy hits the big shot. The best shooter.
And to the other big man. Francis backed off Best and gets 2 more.
I thought he might have taken an extra step there, but
had just a little trouble with the handle there inside, but got it back. He has 16 now.
Key part of the ball game here right now. That 3, it was down to 3. Now it's back up to 8. Big shot by Quentin Carruthers.
Hughes steps up and hits.
And again, he went inside. Carruthers only 2 3-pointers he's taken tonight.
Gets it down to 6 again. Carruthers has 9. And McElharney got it all the way down to Francis.
I'm surprised Francis didn't take that. He was only about 3 feet away.
He gets set in the post now. Back out Carter, a 3. That one's no good.
That's
Francis,
not the guy you want shooting a 3 if you're Notre Dame.
They'll get a second chance, though. Falls. He can hit from anywhere. Hits on the drive.
That's only his third 2-point basket of the season.
But 13 points tonight, getting it done. Back to an 8-point margin. 47-39. 5 minutes gone here in a quick-moving second half.
Kurtz might gotten away with the foul on that one.
Carruthers off
Way
balance.
off balance.
McElharney there with the pressure. Take us to a timeout. 14-46. Dons down 8. Back with more after this. You're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
Are you in there? What's up? The show's at 7. Whoa. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Did you know IPFW has its very own pep band? The Stomp Band is looking for more members and we want you to join. IPFW students even receive a credit for their participation. Perfection is not required, just enthusiasm and a desire to share your school spirit. Check out our website for more information. Don't just play, stomp.
Continuing, Irish with the basketball out of the timeout and an 8-point advantage at 47-39. Falls 3 more, short. That would have been a big shot.
He thought he made that one. And I'll tell you what, that was shot from right in front of our broadcast position, and it looked good.
Just off the rim. The Dons trying not to let this one get away. They had it down to 3. Falls with a big 3 and then a couple of baskets inside. Had the Irish back up 8.
Still think they need to run some plays for DeWitt Scott. He's gotten the 1 3-pointer off this half, but he needs to take some more shots. He's their best scorer.
Best steps up, and that's a 3 at the top.
Okay, wait. I'm removing the foot from my mouth right now.
On the floor, a tie up and a jump ball.
Notre Dame ball.
That's second 3 of the night for the big man.
Yeah, he's got 10. He's having a really nice game. And Scott has 11, a very quiet 11. But they need to get him some more shots. Here's Best wide open. Francis comes out just a half step too late.
Back to a 5-point margin.
I think the impressive thing about Best's game is that that's thrown away. He tried calling timeout, but he didn't have the ball. Good idea there by Kurtz, but he was calling timeout before he had the ball.
And again, McElharney, the freshman, got down there on the baseline and kind of got lost in traffic and threw it away.
Yeah, it's a freshman play. Again, if Chris Quinn's in there, chances are he's going to get that ball to the right guy. Dons with a chance to cut it to 3 or even 2 with a 3-pointer right now, Brad.
Trying to get it back to that 1-possession margin. McElharney swats it out, and they'll reset it with 19 on the shot clock.
Pompey almost turned that one over, trying to make the one-handed pass to Hawkins. I think we're going to see Savely back in here pretty soon. He had a pretty good first half.
Now Carruthers, Pompey, 13 to shoot. Scott, 3 more. Yes, he does. 2-point game. 14 for Scott. His 4th 3. And the fans in blue now are on their feet.
You know, there was people talking before the game, Brad, that this was going to be a 20 or 25-point win easy for the Irish.
Been up by only as many as 12 tonight, and they are getting a fight here in the second half.
Great play there by Falls. See how smart that was? Or excuse me, that was McIlharney. He got the guy in the air and made the shot. Took the shot. There's Scott with the three-pointer.
There's his three to make it a 2-point game. McIlharney now a couple of freebies. Rim out on
That's his first miss of the season. Well, Scott, 5 out of 11 now, 4 out of 8. What did he miss his first 5 shots, 6 shots?
That's right. He's been
like the rest of the team, shooting them much better.
Once he got going, McIlharney, a couple of points on the night. And that one there gives him 6. 3 for 4 from the line and a 3-point game.
Yeah, McIlharney might get a little tired in the second half. He's playing a lot more minutes than he usually does, and he's playing more minutes at the key part of the ball game that he's not used to. A lot more pressure, a lot more stress.
Only averages 15 minutes a game, and he's well past that tonight, but the Dons turn it over.
Now, Carruthers made a good move there. He was expecting somebody to fill the lane and follow him to the basket, and nobody did.
So back to the Irish. Falls on the move. Gets it back from Francis. 3 at the top. It is short. Pompey the board.
Francis had such a good pick. He was actually in Fall's way, and he couldn't extend when he shot the ball.
Best 3 misses.
Shot that a little too quickly.
Tap out. Pompey. Ooh, into the front row. Be careful over there in section 113.
And nobody even moved there.
Those fans like their front row seats. They're staying.
Either that or they're holding on to like some nachos that they couldn't afford to give up. I don't know. Here, watch it again. I mean, he goes flying in there.
Look out.
And they barely move.
And that Midwest American Federal Credit Union sign is a little worse for wear now, too.
Ah, but you just gave him another plug, so that made up for it.
There you go. That's a freebie. Irish now, up 3. McIlharney, guarded by Scott. Carter, scoring-wise, been pretty quiet here in the second half. There's a drive, too far under. Francis, jump ball on the baseline. This time,
IPFW ball.
Goes to the Dons.
Carter literally threw up an air ball from under the basket on that.
He got under there and wanted to do something with it and wasn't sure.
Great athlete, not such a great shooter.
So now the Dons with a second opportunity to tie. Down 3, 12 minutes to go here in the second half.
Still want to see him run a play for Scott.
It's Carruthers, a little bump from McIlharney. The drive up over Francis for 2.
If Francis hadn't have been there, that would have been a dunk that would have brought down the house.
Dons within 1. 48-47.
I think there are more Dons fans here than Notre Dame fans.
Well, I think we underestimated the IPFW turnout here tonight for sure. Over the top, Francis gets it in front of the rim and an easy 2.
Too easy. That's a terrific pass.
That's what they want. And Coach Bray steps right in, takes a quick 30-second timeout. So we take a break. 11:30 to go here in the second half. 3-point game. You're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
Mom, Dad, you know we love kids, and I've made a decision that will totally change my life. Cameron's too. It's a huge responsibility, leading someone into, who knows, communication or science or math. That's what life's all about, right? Learning so you can pass on knowledge to younger minds. Dad, Mom, I want to be a teacher.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
On this month's edition of IPFW Up Close, we'll be talking about the upcoming visit to IPFW by Dr. Richard Light, a Harvard professor who's done extensive research on what college students really think about college. And we'll talk with some award-winning athletes, not for their prowess on the fields of play, but for their philanthropy efforts. Join me, Susan Alderman, for IPFW Up Close, Sundays at noon on College Access, Channel 56.
Did you know IPFW has its very own pep band? The Stomp Band is looking for more members and we want you to join. IPFW students even receive a credit for their participation. Perfection is not required, just enthusiasm and a desire to share your school spirit. Check out our website for more information. Don't just play, stomp.
Dons out of the timeout, a missed 3 from Scott, and then a foul on the rebound. And it brings us to our media timeout here at the 11-12 mark. So we'll sneak back in for another quick break. Still a 3-point game. It'll be Irish basketball when we come back. You're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
Oh, yes, to the 40, to the 50, to the 40 of Dedham. He's going down the sideline, and it's a...
If legislation being considered now in the U.S. Congress passes, you won't see your local team or your government or local events and news on this TV channel. Telecom giants want to end the funding source for this and other local channels. And with such action, end your rights to watch or produce local programming. Don't let local access become won't see TV. Go to SaveMyFreeSpeech.net or AllianceCM.org now and learn how you can help. Become informed and contact your representatives in Washington. The time for your action is now. Otherwise, this is all you'll see here soon.
Do you have everything you need? Paper, pencils?
We only ask that you do your best.
I made you a snack.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
All right, so out of the timeout, Notre Dame got a drive from Falls, but he picked up an offensive foul for his second. So in between all these commercials here, it ends up IPFW basketball anyway and still a three-point game.
And opposed to the first half where IPFW was way ahead in fouls, this half it's Notre Dame with 5 fouls and IPFW with 4. Dons have outscored Notre Dame 15-10 in the second half, playing very well.
Got it down to a 3-point margin. Another chance here to get within one, maybe tie it. 10 to shoot.
Did get it down to 1 just a couple of minutes ago.
Carruthers, nice shot fake on Francis, and he hits.
Again, I just love how Carruthers is playing tonight, Brad. He's taking the ball inside time and time and time again, and that's why he's 5 out of 9. He's missed his 2 3-pointers, so he's 5 out of 7 inside the stripe, especially the one he floated over Francis just a couple of minutes ago.
3 at the other end for Carter, and he hits it. You wouldn't expect that.
He's a 30% three-point shooter on the year. His form just doesn't look that good. I mean, he threw up an air ball from a foot. He almost got a steal there if Pompey had passed that ball. And he looked bad on his other three-point attempt, but that one was perfect.
4 out of 13 from three-point range coming in, but he's got 9 points now. Took a little wind out of the crowd. See if the Dons can bring it back. 15 to shoot. Best against Francis. One-on-one. There he goes. Kick it over to Hawkins. A little deep against Kurtz. Got the block and got it away.
That was a good pass, but Hawkins got too far under the basket. He just had nowhere to maneuver. And I'm very surprised we haven't seen Cal Sabley at all this half. I wonder if there's something wrong with him.
9.5 minutes to go. 53-49. Falls in the lane this time, off the glass and scores. Looking for the foul there, but didn't get it.
Boy, for a guy who was 2 for 11 from two-point land coming into this game, all of a sudden he's making some tonight.
And Coach Fife will take himself a 30-second timeout. 9:17 to go here in the second half. Randy just mentioned Sabley. He just checked in right here at this whistle.
I thought they may put him in a little more earlier, Brad, just because Notre Dame very short at guard tonight without Chris Quinn, and you want to get a high-energy guy in there and make the Notre Dame guards work a little more. 6-point ball game right now, though, with 9 minutes and 17 seconds to go. I think if you had told Dane Fife and the Dons going in, this is where they'd be at this point, they'd say, yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah, you tell them down 8 at the half and down 6 right now, they'd be all over that.
And really, after the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game, when they just flat out couldn't make a basket, the Dons have really played well, offensively and defensively.
39% from the field, but you take away that rough start, and it's a little closer to 50%.
The thing where they're really starting to lose out, though, is the rebounding game is now 31-20 in favor of Notre Dame. That double digits, that's big, and there's another sloppy turnover.
Carter to steal at the other end. He gets fouled.
DeWitt Scott got him. They could have called that an intentional foul, and they're not.
Scott called the grab, and they're calling it on the floor even. So they'll be out of bounds. Coach Bray is going to have trouble with that one.
Sabley just threw that ball away. You got to know what you're doing on that. Now, they should have called that a 2-shot foul. Yeah, they're changing that now. Yep. He was shooting the ball.
You see Coach Bray right there talking to the official right in front of us.
The official walked up and said, I asked him, and he said, no, he wasn't shooting. He meant yes.
The 3 officials got together, and they decided a couple free throws going Carter's way. And the first one is good. 10th point of the night. He's in double figures now. Pompey back in.
Dane Fife was just talking to Kyle Sabley about that turnover. I mean, that he just handed Notre Dame the ball. You can't do that. You know what? If you really get caught up that much, you got 3 timeouts. You have to call each possession incredibly important right now.
Little 7-point run for Notre Dame has the Irish back up by 8 with 9 minutes to go. Foul on foul on Scott was his 3rd right there. So Scott, Hawkins, Carruthers with 3 apiece for the Dons.
This is where IPFW really needs to hang with it. This game could get out of hand.
Pompey steps back and got the roll along 2.
I don't think that's the offensive set that Dane Fife wanted, a bunch of dribbling and then a shot. But, you know.
You take it when you can get it,
yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Back within half a dozen now.
A bad shot that goes in is always better than a turnover.
Falls, gets in the middle. Pompey tipped it away. Bring it back to Francis. Powers inside and the right hand scores again.
He's just so good inside. 18 points now for Francis.
He is going to give the Big East a monster effort this season and another steal.
20 points for Francis.
He's leading all scorers, 20 points and 7 boards, 8 of 11 from the field. See if they go right back to him again. A chance to go up 10. Drive, kick, shot, curves, misses. Sabley the board.
That was a beautiful play. They'll take that wide open 12-footer every time. Collins Falls, known as a 3-point shooter, driving a little more tonight with Chris Quinn out with that bad ankle. He got hurt in practice this morning. That's why he's not playing.
Under 8 minutes. Scott, little turnaround over Francis. No, Hawkins trying to get in there. Swats it back to Sabley. Best gets underneath. Leaning in on Carter. Called for the block. Best will go to the line.
And I'll tell you what, they could have called a foul very easily on Rob Kurtz there because he pushed Hawkins to get at that rebound.
Timeout coming our way. 7:41 to go. Here in the second half, Dons are down 8. Free throws when we come back. You're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
Pizza! I must eat. Wait, what is this? Capsicum anum? Agaricus bisporus? Allium cepa?
Can we eat this?
Peppers, mushrooms, and onions. Eat your pizza, man.
Honey.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
On this month's edition of IPFW Up Close, we'll be talking about the upcoming visit to IPFW by Dr. Richard Light, a Harvard professor who's done extensive research on what college students really think about college. And we'll talk with some award-winning athletes, not for their prowess on the fields of play, but for their philanthropy efforts. Join me, Susan Alderman, for IPFW Up Close, Sundays at noon on College Access Channel 56.
Action continuing. Don's ball out of the timeout. Sabley had it blocked away, and the Irish come up with it.
Again, a place where he didn't have to shoot that ball, Brad. There were 20 seconds on the shot clock.
8-point Notre Dame margin. IPFW was within 1 just a couple minutes ago.
Dons have really hit a bit of a scoring slump here after cutting it down too long.
As Falls left open, short. Sabley another board. They'll push it ahead. 7 minutes to go now. Fantastic effort for Dane Fife's team tonight.
There's the man you want with the ball right now.
Scott has 14 points tonight to lead the Dons.
Take him right to the hole.
There he goes against Francis, up and under, and no. Tipped out, and it'll be Irish ball.
Oh, now wait a second. I think Carter hit that ball.
Best was the only white jersey over there.
Because Carter's laughing a little like he hit it.
Well, let's see. Yeah, it looks like that
hard to tell.
Might have been the case.
He was laughing like he got away with one of those.
Perhaps break for the Irish.
Teams have played even Steven in the second half, 19 points apiece.
Margin is 8 at the half, 8 now. Drive to the basket and a foul, and team foul number 6 on the Dons.
No shooting foul there. The ball was still on the floor. After this, though, both teams will be shooting.
4th personal, though, on Carruthers. Still 6.5 minutes to go. So he'll have to be a little cautious of that.
Carruthers is having a terrific game. He's got 13 points. As you said, Scott leading the Dons with 14, and Tyler Best with 10. So 3 guys in double figures.
McElharney back to Falls. Back to McElharney. 3 at the top. That's no good.
Over the back again.
Back, and it's Hawkins with the good box out. And that will be team foul number 7 on the Irish, and that'll get the Dons to the line.
And this is exactly what you don't want to do if you're Notre Dame. You stop the clock and you give IPFW a chance to score a couple of points with nobody guarding them.
There it is.
You see the perfect box out there by Hawkins. He just sort of eased him on down the road.
Got the wide base and the wide arms, and
why'd not use it?
Earned himself a 1 bonus at the other end.
But you got to take advantage of this now.
Free throw, good.
It's one thing to get to the line. It's another thing to make them once you get there.
Hawkins 6 out of 7 from the line on the season coming in, and they're going to try and sub in Zeller, but Hawkins had the ball already.
If he makes this one, Zeller can come in.
And he does, so he does. Back to a 6-point game. Hawkins with 7 points on the night.
Kurtz has 3 fouls now, so maybe that's why they want to get him out. Zeller only has 1.
So he goes to the bench, 6:15 on the clock. Dons have kept it under 10 the entire second half. Trying to keep it within shouting distance here down the stretch. Go back to Francis and back out. Working that right side of the floor. McElharney now back to the left side.
Francis just creating space with the free arm there.
Baseline jumper, and he can hit that.
If he hits that shot, you can't guard him. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, we've seen him do it 2 feet from the basket. When he's 10 feet away, that is tough to handle.
Because if you go out to guard him, he's just going to blow right past you.
22 points now for Francis, 61-53.
22.7 rebounds. I'll tell you what, though, Carter's the guy who's killing him on the boards. He's got a dozen rebounds.
To the rim, Carruthers can't convert. Hawkins blocked by Zeller, but fouled.
And I think he'll get 2 free throws on that one. It was in the shot. Yep, he's going to get 2. Good play again by Justin Hawkins, who very quietly is having a nice game. You see on the replay, Carruthers with a great move. The ball just flat out slipped out of his hand. And they might have gotten a break there. Zeller, if he got any of the arm, he didn't get much of it.
Called the foul on Falls, his 4th.
Because they had signaled Zeller at first. Hawkins now with 8 points. He's got 6 rebounds, an assist. Very nice game.
Ayers back in for Falls. Goes to the bench with 15 points tonight. Still 5:22 left in this one.
Falls hasn't had too much time to sit. They need him out there without Quinn.
Free throw no good. Tap out though and a board to Pompey.
That could turn out to be a break, missing a free throw.
It's another chance for the Dons here, down 7.
This is almost right now like an NCAA tournament game for IPFW. Every possession is just huge.
Best to the rim, up and under, basket and the foul. He'll go to the line.
You know, when he got it, I thought Francis held him, and I think Francis is coming out. He looks pretty tired. It looked like he got held in it. Have we seen Cornette this half at all? He's out there right now. We haven't seen much of him, though. Look at it. Great play by Tyler Best, using the rim to block the man out, because if Francis goes to try to block that ball, his hand's going up through the net, and it'll be an automatic goaltend.
3rd foul on Francis.
How about Best? 12 points. This has to be his best game.
And another missed free throw. Francis takes care of that one.
He's still got a 3-point play out of that backwards. And it's down to 5 with 5 minutes to go. They keep chipping away a point a minute.
61.
We'll have overtime if it keeps going like this.
Hey, we got nowhere to go tonight.
What you have to do the news tonight?
It's not till 11 o'clock.
Okay.
Plenty of time. When you get a full house like this, you don't mind sitting around a little while. Foul inside on Carruthers.
Is that it for him?
That will be his 5th with 4:54 to go.
That's bad news, because he's got 13 points. He's had a really good game. He's just not big enough to guard Kurtz. And then he went for the steal. It didn't look like a bad play, but they've been calling that in the second half. They didn't call it so much in the first, but they've been calling a lot of that in the second. By the way, for those fans who are watching this tonight, thank you very much. We do appreciate it. But we implore you, get out to a game here. They're a lot of fun. These are good ball games. This is Division I basketball.
Yeah, this is not the effort you're seeing from IPFW tonight is not unusual by any means. And we know a lot of people are here to see Notre Dame, but the Dons are the home team, and they are playing like it tonight. Carruthers done for the night, 13 points, 5 and 10 from the field.
Smart move by Mike Bray right now. 4:54 left in the half. He takes out Colin Falls while there's a man at the free throw line because they're going to get a TV timeout pretty soon. And this way he's getting him an extra couple of minutes of rest. That's very good coaching.
4 personal fouls as well on Falls, so by himself as much time as he can here. Kurz at the line, 2 for 2. Notre Dame getting it done from the stripe tonight.
Yeah, 17 out of 19. That's right around 90%. That's pretty good. The Dons 8 out of 11, Brad. That's pretty good too.
Hanging around. 63-56 as we're under 5 minutes to go. Best on the baseline. Jumper, no. Francis another board.
Could you tell on that shot, though, Best's legs are starting to go. He got no lift on that ball, and so much of shooting the basketball comes from your legs.
The needle is headed toward E, and a timeout for Coach Bray. Take a 30-second timeout. So we'll keep it here at the 4:32 mark of this second half.
Again, pretty even second half. The Dons have outscored Notre Dame 24-23 in the second half. Just can't get over that hump. Got it down to 1, but just didn't happen after that. Because then they went, Notre Dame went on an 8-0 run after that.
Scored, 7 in a row to go up 8 at 57-49.
There's the Leprechaun.
Leprechaun. And
would that be the Leopardon?
This little sequence
or is that
be
the Donikin?
Either or. Having some fun tonight here in front of the crowd.
Don's definitely got some size and a huge weight advantage on the Leprechaun. That's all I'm saying.
In a fight, we take the Don.
So the Leprechaun's a little quick.
He is. He's nimble. Irish basketball, still 25 on the shot clock, coming out of the timeout. And a tip and a loose ball. Got it back, though.
Savely almost created that turnover.
Kurz got it back. Here's Falls. Back in against Savely. Now Francis. Still 12 to shoot. Notre Dame taking their time here. Carter.
Savely almost stole it from him.
6 to shoot. McIlharney, 3 to shoot. What's it going to be? He'll put it up. And it's no good. Rebound for Best.
Great defense. Great defense on that sequence by the Dons.
Now IPFW has to come back and try and get a score.
But Mike Bray was screaming because nobody was covering DeWitt Scott in the corner. He was standing there just praying for the ball so he could shoot a 3-pointer.
Carter picked him up. They go back to Best against Francis. Look at him bang. Right hand. Missed it.
A lot of pushing and shoving going on there both ways.
Francis got the rebound cleared out. He's got a double-double now.
Surprise.
And Notre Dame, 3.5 to go. Chance to get their biggest lead of the second half with a score here.
Irish will milk the clock someday.
Francis got the shot, 24 points now, and a 9-point lead.
He's just having a fantastic game. He's 10 out of 13. 30-second timeout by the Dons.
So Coach Fife getting into the stretch run here, trying to get his ducks in order.
We're going to be getting a lot of timeouts coming up here in the next 3:19 of playing time because the next dead ball, there's going to be a full timeout. And I got a feeling we're going to get another 2 or 3 the rest of the way.
Another one down the stretch here.
So you got your Christmas shopping done?
No, doing it Wednesday.
Okay. Just checking.
But it's been a busy December.
Yes, it has.
And but have had this one circled on the calendar. I tell you what, ever since, and I know you were here for that NIT game. It's been more than a year and a half ago now. We knew that Notre Dame would be back, and we knew that it was going to be this kind of night.
Mike Bray promised, and he was a man of his word. Plus, he gave them another couple of games that they're playing there. They played the one last year, and I believe they're playing there again next.
Should be up at South Bend next season as well.
So thanks, Coach.
Always a great atmosphere up there at the Joyce Center.
I tell him right now he's standing about 2 feet from me, but I think he's got
a little busy right
issues.
now. 17 to shoot. Hawkins got hung up on the baseline. Kurz gets the block out of that.
That's the old good move, bad shot.
So now with 3 minutes to go, the Irish starting to smell it here. Hawkins comes out to pressure Kurz. Falls will back it out. They'll take as much of this 35 seconds as they can. Dons maybe looking to foul. Not quite yet. Good pressure, though.
Plenty of time left. You don't have to foul.
12 to shoot.
This is what you want. You want them to take a shot, and they don't have a lot of time on it.
McIlharney got the pick from Francis. Work it around. 4 to shoot. Falls off the glass. Didn't get it. Carter coming in. Didn't get it on the second chance. Under the basket. Francis looking for the foul, but the Dons clear it.
Falls got lucky there. I didn't think that ball was going to hit the rim. And look at Savely creating the foul and getting the basket to go.
That's a little bit of the playground move right there for Savely. 2 plus a chance for 1 more. He'll do it after the timeout, though. Here it is again, 2:19 to go. In the second half, Don's down 7. Be at the line when we come back. You're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
That book was all right. You know, if she continues to spill product at a rate of 3 per hour, unit cost, say 60 cents. Factor in breakage, downtime, lost sales, you're looking at $2,400 a month. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Did you know IPFW has its very own pep band? The Stomp Band is looking for more members and we want you to join. IPFW students even receive a credit for their participation. Perfection is not required, just enthusiasm and a desire to share your school spirit. Check out our website for more information. Don't just play, stomp.
Out of the timeout, it'll be Kyle Savely at the free throw line trying to finish off an impressive three-point play.
Kyle Savely providing the spark right now. Three-point play.
6 on the night for Savely, and that's our margin. 2:19 to go.
A little bit of pressure now.
59. Savely against McElharney. Boy, he has played every bit of this game tonight. All but about a couple minutes for the young man filling in for Chris Quinn.
You know, and Quinn, his ankle may not be that bad. And this isn't a slap at IPFW, but if you're Notre Dame, you have to make sure he's healthy once Big East play starts. The conference is more important.
The end of the conference in a couple of weeks. Drive to the basket. Hawkins hit the deck again.
I think they're going to call an over the back again on Kurz. That's about 3 or 4 of those on him. And now the Dons are going to get another couple of free throws. That's 10, so this is 2 free throws now.
Double bonus coming. Here it is again. There's Hawkins going to the deck.
If Hawkins weren't so far under the basket, that would have been a charge, but they're not going to call it when you're standing under the basket. It's not an official rule like it is in the NBA now, Brad, you know, where they have the other circle under the basket, and if you're inside that circle, there's no charge. But referees definitely are cognizant of that.
It's Pompey who had the position and gets the free throw.
Don's really helping themselves at the line tonight. 10 out of 13. Here you see Tony Jasic. He's one of the assistant coaches, along with Dane Fife. Jeff Tungate, the associate head coach on the other side, who will be joining us after the game for the post game.
2 for 2 on that trip. Now a 4-point game under 2 minutes.
And the important thing about that too, Brad, no time comes off the clock when you're at the free throw line.
Maybe double bonus the rest of the way for IPFW. Now a chance to play some pressure defense.
Curtis. I would get the ball to Turin Francis right now if I were Notre Dame.
15 to shoot. McElharney gets the high pick from Kurz. Drive from Carter. He got hung up underneath. Fan out of bounds, and it's going to the Dons.
All of a sudden, everything going IPFW's way. Dane Fife calling out the play. I think he's looking for the diamond press. No, Notre Dame dropping back now.
Minute 28.
And that's a couple of times that Carter could have been called for a foul, and he wasn't.
It's out of bounds off of Francis underneath there. Bounds. Oh, Savely hit the deck. Here's Hawkins. 3 ball.
Too strong.
That one's long.
He's so excited that he overshot the ball.
Fired up there. That would have made it a 1-point game. You can hear the gasp from the crowd here waiting to see that one go. We come upon our final minute now.
Hawkins trying to draw the charge. That was bad acting.
Ayers with it. Still 20 to shoot.
A couple of freshmen out there for Notre Dame right now. Way up top, and that's a foul on Kurz, and Savely draws it, and he's going to go to the line. He can cut this to a 2-point game with 52 seconds to go. This is unbelievable right now.
Kurz out at midcourt, handed it off and threw the shoulder on the screen. He fouls out in the process. That's his 5th personal. 52.2, and it will be IPFW to the line.
Yeah, I don't think this turned out to be a 20 or 25-point game.
It was actually only as far as 12 all night long.
That was early in the first half.
Yep, 29-17 was Notre Dame's biggest margin. That was about 6 minutes to go in the first half.
The Irish now putting in someone who hasn't played all night, Zach Hilsland.
6'9" freshman from Toledo.
Timeout. Don't know if it's going to be a 30 or a full here.
30-second timeout for Notre Dame. Coach Bray wants to get his guys settled because IPFW going to the line. Chance to cut it to 2.
Kyle Sabley, not the best first half he's had this year, but boy, he's really doing it in the second half, especially since he had to come in with Quentin Carruthers fouling out. Again, Quentin Carruthers played a terrific ball game. 13 points on 5 out of 10 shooting, 3 out of 4 from the free throw line. DeWitt's got the leading scorer with 14, but he hasn't touched the ball much as of late. And Tyler Best with a dozen. Brad Pompey, nice game. He's got 8. Sabley going to be going to the line. He's got 6. He's got a chance to make 8 now. Don's 11 out of 14 from the line. Both teams really shooting the ball from the line today, Brad. Don's 11 out of 14. Notre Dame 17 out of 19. Well, they're not going to give him free throws on that.
They call an offensive foul on that, so that'll be just regular possession for the Dons. Pompey got it.
That's twice he's done that. Dribbled it around and made the shot, and the Dons called a quick timeout. They're within 2 with 40 seconds to go.
30-second timeout for IPFW.
Another 30-second timeout for the Dons, and Brad, that's twice that Pompey has done that. Just dribbled, bam, pulled up for the 15-footer, looking at one-on-one, stopping, popping, just elevating over the freshman. It's down to a 2-point game, and with 40 seconds to go, you don't have to foul.
Guaranteed another possession if they can get the stop. 4 Dons in double figures now. Pompey goes to 10 with that last basket.
The only problem you have here is if Notre Dame runs the clock all the way down. If they shoot it with a second to go, and if they miss it, the ball's going to bounce around. Well, you may only have 2 seconds left when you get the ball.
Both teams have 1 timeout left.
Here comes the full court pressure.
Dons will bring it all the way into the backcourt. It'll be Ayers to trigger it in. He'll dump it into Carter. They'll bring it up.
3 freshmen on the floor right now for Notre Dame.
McElharney, one of them. He'll handle the point.
Zeller and Ayers, all freshmen out there.
Carter's a junior, then Francis the big man inside. 20 to shoot, 26 on the game clock.
Mike Gray also on the court right now. It's 6 on 5.
McElharney, Sabley guarding him. 11 to shoot. Ayers, now Carter, down to 7 on the shot clock.
Might have gotten away with the walk there.
Carter spins, Zeller the 3, missed it, rebound, ends up in the hands of Scott, 4 seconds. They got to get the timeout.
He was trying to call it earlier. They wasted about 2 seconds there.
So 3.3 on the clock. Timeout IPFW. We're not going anywhere.
Brad, let me ask you this. You're the coach right now. Here you see the shot going up. I really thought Carter got away with the walk. Zeller had a good look at it, and right there you want to call the timeout. Right there.
Lost a couple of seconds there.
You're coaching IPFW right now. Do you go for the 3 in the win, or you go for the 2 in the overtime?
Well, you're going to throw it, and I think the strategy here, they're going to get the ball just past midcourt right here in front of us at the scorer's table. Your strategy is going to be to throw it to, ideally, an open man somewhere around the top of the key. If it's a 3, dandy. If it's not, you're going to be happy with a 15 or 16-foot shot. I think at home, I don't know, you're going to be happy to maybe play some overtime.
At home, they always say you play for overtime, but you know what? When you're playing against a team that has more talent, if I'm coaching, I say go for the win right now.
And knowing
if you hit a 3-pointer at the buzzer to win this game, you've got 9,000 people walking out of here tonight who are never going to forget that.
You can see that highlight on SportsCenter here in a couple of hours if that happens. And I got to believe, knowing what we kind of felt with Coach Fife being around here for a while, he wants to win this thing.
Just got a wave and a thumbs up from Blair, who is Dane Fife's fiance. I think she's chewed off about half her nails in this ball game.
So 3.3, crowd on their feet.
Now I'm really surprised that maybe, well, they might do it with Hilsland. You got to put a tall guy on whoever's inbounding the ball. And Kyle Sabley is 6-footer, so you put somebody tall on him, this makes for a tough play. You got to set some picks here and get somebody open. You've got time to take a dribble or 2 and then get off a shot to Whit Scott. open. He's in the corner. I'd look for him or Pompey to take the shot.
Savoy will trigger in. Trying to set the screen.
There's Pompey.
Pompey gets it. Double
No
team.
foul.
No foul. There's the buzzer, and that's it. Notre Dame survives, and the Dons come up 2 points short. 65-63 will be the final.
That was sort of a downer ending to what was an incredible game. It was just sort of a, what was that?
They got it to Pompey. A good play on that side of the floor. Ran into the double team, though, the strip ball, and he comes up empty-handed.
Yeah, he dribbled it and went up to shoot, and somebody hit the ball. I can't tell if he was trying to shoot the ball at that point or get it to DeWitt Scott, who was open in the corner.
But they got their money's worth here tonight at the Coliseum for sure. 65-63 the final. Notre Dame gets the win. We'll take a quick timeout, come back and start our postgame here after this break. You're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
Oh, yes, to the 40, to the 50, to the 40 of Dedham. He's going down the sideline, and it's a...
If legislation being considered now in the U.S. Congress passes, you won't see your local team or your government or local events and news on this TV channel. Telecom giants want to end the funding source for this and other local channels. And with such action, end your rights to watch or produce local programming. Don't let local access become won't see TV. Go to SaveMyFreeSpeech.net or AllianceCM.org now and learn how you can help. Become informed and contact your representatives in Washington. The time for your action is now. Otherwise, this is all you'll see here soon.
Do you have everything you need? Paper, pencils?
We only ask that you do your best.
I made you a snack.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
And we're back here at Memorial Coliseum. 65-63 Notre Dame, the final margin, as the Dons had an opportunity there in the closing seconds, but are unable to get the shot off for a chance to win it. And Mike Bray and the Fighting Irish will escape here with their 5th win of the season and 3rd in a row. The Dons drop to 2-7 after a great effort here tonight at the Coliseum. We're tallying up the scores here and the statistics on this one. Associate Coach Jeff Tungate will be joining us here in just a couple of moments as the Dons fell behind by 8-zip early, down by as many as 12 in the first half. The margin was 8 at halftime, and then Randy, they got it within 1 there with about 6 minutes to go.
And then got it to within 2
second half,
with 40 seconds to go.
And had a couple opportunities there late, and I think, we can sit here during this postgame, we can look at all these numbers and all these stats, but the bottom line is the effort tonight was an A+ for IPFW.
Tremendous effort. And I just asked Alan Reeby, our general manager, who was sitting right in front of where the final play took place with the ball knocked away, and he said it looked like he was clean. It looked like he was trying to get the ball to DeWitt Scott in the corner, who was wide open. And Scott would probably be the guy you want to take in that shot at the end, though Pompey hit a couple of good ones down the stretch.
So the final margin 65-63. We're going to take another time out here, and we'll have more from our post-game tonight. We'll take a look at some stats, and Coach Tungate on the way here in just a couple of minutes. Back at the Coliseum after this. You're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
Are you in there? What's up? The show's at 7. Whoa. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names. Did
Did you know IPFW has its very own pep band? The Stomp Band is looking for more members, and we want you to join. IPFW students even receive a credit for their participation. Perfection is not required, just enthusiasm and a desire to share your school spirit. Check out our website for more information. Don't just play, stomp.
Mom, Dad, you know we love kids, and I've made a decision that will totally change my life. Cameron's too. It's a huge responsibility, leading someone into, who knows, communication or science or math. That's what life's all about, right? Learning so you can pass on knowledge to younger minds. Dad, Mom, I want to be a teacher.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Back here at Memorial Coliseum, Brad Brown and Randy Schiffman here with you. Notre Dame 65, IPFW 63. The final margin. Associate Coach Jeff Tungate joining us here courtside after this. Coach, we'll talk about stats and particulars on this in a little while, but the bottom line is tonight your kids gave an A-plus effort out there.
You know, I thought our kids played really hard, and they played their hearts out for 40 minutes, and you can't ask for anything more. Going up against a tough team like Notre Dame in an environment like this, there was a great turnout crowd-wise tonight, and you know, I think it's something that we can build on for the future and hopefully continue to improve, and it's a good confidence boost for our team.
Okay, Jeff, the big question is, at the end there, did Brad Pompey get fouled? It was right in front of you. From where we're sitting, we couldn't tell if they hit the ball. I thought he was trying to pass it to DeWitt Scott in the corner.
Yeah, the play was to get the ball, make one more pass to DeWitt. Whether he got fouled or not, that's hard to say, because at that point in the game, you know, a good official is going to let the kids decide, and it's going to be a battle of toughness. So I can't say whether it should have been called, shouldn't have been called. It's just I thought they defended it well. I thought we did a good job with it, and you know, it's one of those things, comes down the wire, could go either way, and tonight it didn't go our way.
I thought, too, leading up to that last play, when Notre Dame took the shot, Luke Zeller fired up that three, you got the rebound. It looked like there maybe should have been another couple of seconds on the clock. Did you tell the kids, if you get the rebound, immediately call a timeout?
No, it was one of those things we wanted to see how much time was left, because sometimes if you got enough time, you want to just go so the defense doesn't get a chance to get set, and if you got enough time, you want to go, and Coach saw that, you know, by the time we got the rebound and secured it, we really couldn't get any momentum going down the other end of the floor, so we needed to call the timeout. So it's one of those calls that, you know, 6 seconds is a questionable time. Usually anything over 6 seconds, you can just go. If it's under 6, you want to call a timeout, and it was right in that gray area, and, you know, once he saw we really didn't have momentum going the other way, we needed to take the timeout and run a play from there.
I know going into the game, you told me the biggest problem was going to be how do we deal with Terrence Francis. Well, he turned out to be a big problem. 24 points, 11 rebounds. He was just so steady the entire night.
And I thought Tyler Best did a good job defending him too. You know, I mean,
and he made him play defense too by playing pretty well on offense.
He really did. Tyler made him work for everything he got. And it's one of those things when you're going against a Big East team, we've got to pick our poison. You know, who's going to beat us? Is we're going to let Falls get open threes? We're going to let Carter take us off the bounce? We're going to let Francis beat us inside? And we made the decision that, you know, he's going to have to earn everything he gets. And if he gets his points, he gets his. But let's make sure the other guys don't get theirs.
Right.
It seemed to me like Francis, you knew coming in, was going to be the big deal. Carter was the guy, though, that seemed to be everywhere tonight.
14 rebounds.
Especially, I was going to say, on the glass. Carter did a great job. And, you know, we talked about how he had to block him out and how he's a great rebounder. But he's such an athlete that, you know, a lot of that stuff, he just jumps over top of people. And we didn't do a good enough job blocking him out. But give him credit. He went to the glass hard, and he really did hurt us on the boards.
Here's the next question. You lose this one, you've got to come back in 2 nights and go to Purdue and play another big game for your team. What do you talk about right now, and what do you talk about on Monday in practice?
Well, I think the biggest thing we talk about is confidence. You know, we have nothing to be ashamed of tonight. I think we got to walk out of here with our head up and realize that we're going to be a good basketball team. I mean, we played a very veteran team for the most part in Notre Dame. They're experienced. They've got, you know, poise, and we've got a bunch of new guys that are still trying to fulfill their role and figure out what their role is. And I think we've got nothing to be ashamed of. This is a great positive going into Purdue, and hopefully our guys will come out with the same effort on Tuesday night against Purdue.
I know I've heard this from you, and I've heard it all the time from Coach Fife. There are no moral victories for you as a team. Either you win or you lose. It's a black and white business. It's bottom line. But Isn't this a victory for the IPFW program? Because you get 9,000 people in here and they see a game like this.
Well, the thing I think that really helps from a program standpoint, hopefully the people enjoyed what they saw, they're going to want to come back. You know, it's one of those games that I think it's an exciting game. It goes down to the end. It comes down right to the last second, and I thought it was a well-played game on both ends, and hopefully people will enjoy that and realize that we do play good basketball at IPFW.
I'm also hoping you think that there were some kids in here who maybe you would like to recruit, and they see this and they go, this is pretty good. I'd like to be a part of that.
Well, when you see this Coliseum and then you see it full, you see what an atmosphere it really can be. And, you know, right now we can barely hear each other with a band going on in the background, and it's a lot of fun. And that's the way college basketball should be, and obviously Fort Wayne has supported us, and coming out today is great. And whether they're here to see Notre Dame or IPFW, they're here to see college basketball.
Do you have to worry about a letdown now against Purdue? Even though I know Purdue is Purdue, but I mean, you play this game at home in this kind of atmosphere, isn't it natural for there to be a bit of a letdown for the kids?
I would hope not, because it's Purdue. You know, it's another in-state school, it's a Big Ten school, and the challenge that we have is to put our program on the map. And for us to do that, we can't be playing these teams close. Everyone talks about how well we played at Michigan State. Everyone's going to say that we played Notre Dame close. Well, for us to take the next step, we've got to knock off one of these teams, and our guys have to rise to that challenge, and hopefully they know what's going to be in store on Tuesday night and not let down.
And I remember you saying when you lost to Michigan State, it was sort of a catch-22 because it was great for you guys, but other teams who you were about to play looked and said, oh man, they only lost by 12 at Michigan State. People are going to notice this one now too.
There's no question. I mean, people are going to take a little more time in their preparation for us, and it's going to be harder for their kids to look by us, and that's going to be our guys have to match that and come out and play with great intensity every single night, because teams are going to be prepared for us.
We'll send them a fake box score. That's it.
Good, Jeff. Great effort tonight. Good luck Tuesday at Purdue. We'll see you back here
Thanks,
on Thursday.
Guys. Appreciate it.
Okay, Jeff Tungate joining us here on the postgame. Take a timeout and final wrap-up when we come back. After this timeout, you're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
Oh, yes, to the 40, to the 50, to the 40 of Dedham. He's going down the sideline, and it's up.
If legislation being considered now in the U.S. Congress passes, you won't see your local team or your government or local events and news on this TV channel. Telecom giants want to end the funding source for this and other local channels. And with such action, end your rights to watch or produce local programming. Don't let local access become won't see TV. Go to SaveMyFreeSpeech.net or AllianceCM.org now and learn how you can help. Become informed and contact your representatives in Washington. The time for your action is now. Otherwise, this is all you'll see here soon.
Do you have everything you need? Paper, pencils?
We only ask that you do your best.
I made you a snack.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Did you know IPFW has its very own pep band? The Stomp Band is looking for more members, and we want you to join. IPFW students even receive a credit for their participation. Perfection is not required, just enthusiasm and a desire to share your school spirit. Check out our website for more information. Don't just play, stomp.
And we're back here at Memorial Coliseum, final segment of our postgame. Brad Brown and Randy Shipman here with you. Notre Dame 65, IPFW 63, and a lot of great plays from both teams in this game, and a lot of them really meant a lot, particularly there in that second half.
Yeah, the Dons had great energy, even at the beginning when they weren't scoring, falling behind 8-0 quickly, but they had the energy there and they had the effort there all night. But Turin Francis was just, boy, I'll tell you what, he's just so good and so big, and that's a tough combination. Justin Hawkins, a lot of hustle inside tonight, as always, getting the ball outside there after a good offensive rebound. Guys hitting the floor. Quentin Carruthers unfortunately fouled out because he's just such a big part of this team. Couple of sloppy turnovers, especially in the middle, which hurt the Dons, but they hung tough. Hawkins there a little too deep to get that shot off, but very good effort the entire night by IPFW, and that's, you can't teach effort.
Yeah,
the kids have to follow through.
The one thing you saw there was a very physical game as it went on throughout the course of the evening, and I think we kind of expected that.
Yeah, and the Dons, you play a Big East team. They are very physical, especially Turin Francis. Again, Notre Dame played without Chris Quinn. Would that have made a difference? Sure. But would it have made IPFW loses by 2. Is it going to be 20 points? No, he's not worth 20 points in Notre Dame.
So here's a look at some of the final numbers here tonight, and I think the one that probably really stands out the most is the rebounding numbers, a big advantage in favor of the Irish.
Yeah, and for a while, the Dons actually had the lead. Remember, it was 11-9 in rebounding Dons, and then they wind up 11 down. So that was 13 after that, that they were out-rebounded by Notre Dame. Neither team shot the ball that great. But turnovers, Dons took pretty good care of the ball tonight. Only 11 turnovers, so a lot of positives out of this game. Again, we talked about it with associate head coach Jeff Tungate. There are no moral victories because either you win or you lose, and every coach will tell you that. You win or you lose. They expect that they can win every game.
But plenty to take away from this one, for sure.
This is huge for the program.
Yep.
When people come to the Coliseum and they see that they can play with Notre Dame, that speaks volumes.
Leading scorers tonight, Turin Francis with 24 for Notre Dame. You talked about it in the pregame. I think we were expecting about 25 and 10. Yeah.
And he got 24 and 11.
And he was in double figures, as was Colin Falls for Notre Dame with 15. Russell Carter had 11 and 14 boards to go with it.
And he was really the difference maker, I thought, because you knew that Turin Francis was going to get his, but Carter with the 14 rebounds.
Yeah, that was a pretty impressive number here tonight. IPFW with 4 players in double figures here this evening. A couple of updates to those numbers there. DeWitt Scott finished with 14 points. Quentin Carruthers had 13. 12 on the night for Tyler Best, and Brad Pompey finished with 10 as well.
Justin Hawkins had 8, and Kyle Savely had 6, so they got nice balanced scoring.
Very nice. And the Dons finished shooting on the night 37%, but after that miserable start, it wasn't too bad to keep pace there.
But not much difference between the two teams. Notre Dame shooting 41%, the Dons shooting 37%. Both teams great from the free throw line. IPFW 11 out of 14, Notre Dame 17 out of 19. So that was a big advantage in the first half for Notre Dame because IPFW took 15 three-pointers in the first half, only 8 in the second half, and that seems to be a theme with these guys. They shoot a lot of threes in the first half. Coaches get them in the locker room and go, hey, guys, take the ball inside a little more. They do, and they play much better.
Made some adjustments. Next game up is Tuesday at Purdue. They'll make the trip to Mackey Arena, and we've seen some ups and downs with Matt Painter's team this season. And an effort like this tonight, the Dons got to be thinking going to Mackey and coming out with a win.
I know Purdue fans don't like to hear this, but Purdue is not a very good team this year because they lost their 2 best players. And let's face it, Carl Landry, David Teague, both out. They're their 2 best players. Next year, Purdue's going to be really good.
Yes.
Because they're going to get Landry and Teague back. All these freshmen, they're starting 4 freshmen sometimes, and these guys are going to be good, experienced sophomores next year, not just sophomores. So things looking good for the future for Purdue, but right now, tough. But I really think IPFW is just going to have a bit of a letdown, hitting the road after a game like this, and Purdue is going to be pumped for that game.
Next up after that will be back here at the Coliseum Thursday night. Our next telecast will be Weber State, 7 o'clock tip, and then you can see this one replay on Channel 56 for our Comcast viewers. Monday the 2nd coming out right after the New Year's holiday.
I think Weber State's our last game of the year.
Correct.
Not the season, of the calendar.
The calendar year. We'll be back in January as well. Trip to Penn State you saw there after that as well. So a tough schedule certainly here in December, but a great place to start with this performance here tonight.
I mean, it is something to build on. 65-63. It was a great ball game, and really, we hope those of you who are out there watching it, we're really glad you do watch it. But get out and see a game in person. They're even better in person.
Good, and we thank you tonight for joining us here on UPN Fort Wayne. That's going to do it for our telecast. For Randy Schiffman and our entire crew here at Wayne TV, I'm Brad Brown from the Coliseum. Irish Tag at 65-63. We'll see you back here on Thursday night. Until then, have a great week. So long, everyone.
Telecast of IPFW Mastodon Basketball has been a production of College 56 at IPFW in conjunction with UP.